The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Week 11 picks against the spread. Survivor from the one and only Tim Anderkus, because he is still alive in Survivor with less than half the season to go. Can he do it again? Can he pull off the perfect Survivor season? We'll wait and see until we're done with week 17. Also, if you're out there, please smash the like button to the episode. Leave your favorite spread in the comment section or total. And please help us time code the show. If I have a part that you think should make the best of, you time code it in the comment section. It's easy for Pat Mayo to figure out at the end of the year, so he's not spending over 5 days watching through these shows to find the best of clips. This really does help be able to provide more content towards the end of the year as well. If you're listening to the audio version, always please rate and review the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast and subscribe to Mayo Media Network if you have not yet. If you're just an audio listener and you have a Gmail account, please just go over to YouTube, click the subscribe button to Mayo Media Network, and it takes like 4 seconds. So do that. All right. Thank you. Pat Mayo Experience listeners link in the description of the video. Geoff Fienberg in studio. Bit more of a relaxed week for us. I'm really feeling the ease of not having the Masters going on.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nice. Back to normal.
I totally agree. Last week was crazy. I'm starting to suck at this part of it, though.
The football part?
Yeah.
Not a great week for you. Better week than the coin, though. The coin's just in the toilet these days.
Yeah, going back to last year, he could be like 50 games under.
Well, you should be picking against the... It's always pick against Anderkus, but now it's pick against the coin. But I should introduce the coin. He is the third member of the team. Paul is behind the glass. And the 49th member of the team, who has never taken the advice of, don't dress like you owe someone money. It is Tim Anderkus!
Tim Anderkus.
I don't even know what that means. It's not my name. I don't know what that means.
That's probably why you dress like you owe people money.
Guess.
I won last week. I'm forging ahead in the picks by just having mediocre weeks. I was 7-6-1. And that was good for a 3 or 2 wins over Tim. It was 5-8-1. Geoff 4-9-1. The coin 3-10-1. I'm 3 over with 74 wins. Tim has 71 wins. Geoff 68, and the coin down at 62. Geoff, you were running the Superlock though, until Tim jumped aboard of the same Superlock with you. So now you're down to 7-3. He's down to 2-8. I've lost 4 in a row. I'm now 4-5. Tim's free money teaser lost a bunch of legs of it.
I hold Tim responsible for a lot of things that are starting to happen in the universe.
Really? For you picking your Superlock first and me agreeing with it, that's my fault?
So it was the right pick until you jumped aboard.
Had it been the other way around, I'd have had the wherewithal to be like, this shit's already Cust. But you gotta come on. You and you're probably the reason we're doing this show last week, and it all hinged on like Bosa needing to play. And I should have been more disciplined than making a game my Superlock that required a player who had to pass concussion protocol to play. But just before we went to air, I saw these full speed, like individual workout videos. I'm like, there's no way he's not playing. And Tim's here with his like 7 sacks. They didn't sack him one goddamn time. We got fucking nose tackles playing end right now. I'm not mad.
Really?
We'll move on.
You're not mad?
No.
You're not mad?
Everything's cool.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Oh, yeah. Everything's very cool.
No, you're not going to get what you want. I'm just a little frustrated, but it's fine. It's all fine.
This came up before we dig into the show. I was thinking about next week's schedule because it's Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving week. So I was thinking that we record the show as normal, but we just release the Thanksgiving part as its own show, and then release the rest of the show like a day later or something like that, or on Thanksgiving.
I think you've done that before, haven't you?
I think so, but you'd be surprised how much I don't remember past like 3 days ago.
All will be served next week with 2 episodes.
This is true. I'm doing a special DraftKings show too, so maybe...
Chance to win 2 teasers.
Yeah, that's right.
Happened before.
We all remember 2017. It was a big year. This came up about Tim. And I started getting the brain working on it. If Tim was one of these 3 people, who would he be from Pulp Fiction? Would he be Zed, Zed's friend, or the Gimp? I feel like he'd be Zed's friend.
Don't answer that question. You don't have to answer that question.
Throwing it out to the people as well.
Terrible question. Don't answer that question.
See, you're really getting the mind working on this one.
Why is Tim anti the people answering the question?
It came up.
Really? Why am I anti you be answering this question? Think long and hard about what you just said.
See, it came up because we kind of realized that like Sam Darnold probably just lives in. He's probably like Gimp Darnold now in Adam Gase's basement. And that's what he's doing with his time because he's too soft to play because he's in the box.
Oh no, it's true.
Don't let him out of the box.
He's got Bosa syndrome. He doesn't play anymore. He's like Joey. He's like Nick. He's a Bosa. He doesn't play. It's a problem.
Imagine if he had that sort of talent level. What is he, like the homeless Bosa?
Doesn't matter. He doesn't play.
I would also, I mean, just something to clarify. This injury-prone Bosa thing is actually very not true.
Oh, really?
No, you're right. They play all the time. It's not like Nick and Joey.
No, Joey's no. If you look at his,
yeah, they're Iron Man. They're Lou Gehrig in football form.
No, he had one long-term injury 2 years ago, and he hasn't missed games other than that up until this concussion. It's just in the game logs. Like, you don't even have to argue. I'm saying something that's factually correct.
How
many games did he sit out for? Because he wouldn't sign a contract.
Well, that's not injury related.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Well, my point was that he doesn't play, and whether he doesn't play because he doesn't.
You said he's not good, so what does it matter?
No, I never said he's not good. I just said his brother Nick is better. Well, last time I looked, at least his brother got to the Super Bowl. Sorry, like he was the best player on a defense that went to the Super Bowl. Am I saying anything that isn't true? Like, you know, if I'm saying something incorrect, you correct me, and I'll be fine. But I think he was the best player on a team that just went to the Super Bowl.
There's a lot of people I'll take shit from. It's not you. That's all.
Why are you laughing?
You broke poor Geoff. He's turned into you. And we all know that the only reason that the San Francisco defense was any good last year, Tim, because they were inspired by Kittle Me Timbers.
What are you doing to the start of the show?
You're in a madhouse with you fucking people. Tim is recording this from his padded room. I have to get Geoff his own isolation box. It's fucking Family Feud. Get some pads up in there, too. Get the straps out. Let's jump into Thursday. Cards at Seattle. Seahawks favored by 3.5 points. 57.5 is the over-under. The Cardinals are 6-1-1 against the spread. Their past 8 games against the Seahawks, covering by at least 6.5 points in 5 of those against the spread wins. It's a tough spot. Seattle's reeling right now. Ever since Tim said that he changed his opinion on Seattle, they haven't won a game. This is what he should have been doing from the start.
Okay, but I did pick the Rams last week because the Rams are the best team in that division. That's why I picked them. This is a very good game, and I think there's a slight bit of value on the Cardinals, I guess, because I think it should be a flat 3. But my goodness, I mean, the 1 week I finally need the Buffalo Bills to do something for me, and they lose on a Hail Mary. Like, that is, I've been against them all season, and I finally say, okay, listen, them winning is so much more important than something else going on in that division. So let them win, and they lose on a Hail Mary. How dare they? That must be what it must feel like to be a Bills fan, I guess.
Yeah, can you go away?
Terrible.
We don't want you. We don't want you around.
You've got me to the end of the year.
No.
Until you put the division to bed, I need you.
Fuck.
Yeah, and New England was dead in the water until Tim jumped off the Patriots, called them dead in the water, and now all of a sudden they're beating Baltimore.
They got a real good chance to be a playoff team. I don't doubt the Patriots for a second. I never did. I was never really a true doubter of them. We are off topic here. Arizona, Seattle, very close game. These two teams played a few weeks ago on prime time. That game could have gone in either direction. Felt like the wrong team won the game. Kind of felt like Seattle ought to have won, but Seattle had been getting so much luck that eventually the ball had to bounce against them. They're getting the full 3.5. I don't think that's the right number. I think there's value on the Cardinals. I wouldn't bet this game because I think it's a complete coin flip, but there's a little bit more. Again, that extra hook is enough to incline me to take Arizona.
The coin is going Arizona as well. I'm actually going to go Seattle here. I think it's a nice bounce back spot. A lot of talk, just throwing a bit of dirt on Russell Wilson at the moment. He went from being, well, he's never received an MVP vote in his career. And now he's definitely going to win the unanimous MVP. And now, like, people are like, oh, he's not even in the discussion anymore. A lot of time left here. People are calling Kyler the MVP, too. Is that just because so many people bet on Kyler to win MVP? This is a narrative.
No, it's because he threw a Hail Mary.
Like, it's very clear. It's very clearly Mahomes, isn't it? And it's not even close.
It has to be Mahomes right now. Yes, I think.
Like, he has a 25-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and they're 8-1. Is it just because that's expected from him? That's being held against him?
Tua hasn't thrown a pick, and they're 3-0. Why don't we give him MVP?
Yeah, but how many times does Mahomes throw the ball and goes right through the defender's hands?
The funny thing is, it's like Mahomes, it's like they're trying to find reasons or excuses not to give it to him, like LeBron in his prime, when he's clearly just the best player on the planet. There's no real discussion. They're trying to like make a race that doesn't exist. Kyler didn't even play. Kyler's amazing. I love Kyler. But he didn't play well. It was like a luck sack play. And now he's the MVP? Come on. Like, let's like reel that in a little bit. I respect that he should get votes and be in the discussion, but he's not the MVP over Patrick Mahomes. And that performance versus Buffalo didn't make him the MVP.
Aaron Donald's having a better season in his division. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't think Aaron Donald's not going to win MVP.
I picked Seattle
he's not. He's defensive player of the year.
Rodgers, Wilson, Brady. We picked Brady last week. Like, these guys lose bad. You pick them to bounce back.
I agree.
You do it blind. You'll hit it 80% in this league, it feels. Probably closer to like 62, but those real upper echelon guys, especially if you like the coach, I do hate the hook. Arizona's like this wildfire team. Like every night is a fourth quarter finale. They actually get to win some games, unlike other teams that I don't think are that much whatever.
Geoff.
It is what it is. But I'm going to just pick Seattle here because emotional walk-off win. Now Seattle's desperate, short week at home. Desperate's a stretch, but it's a big game for the Seahawks.
If they lose, it becomes very difficult to game out how they can win the division with being down 2-0 to Arizona. And having again lost a game to the Rams, like all the tie breaks start to bust them up. So they better win this game if they'd like to win the division. I think
if they're gonna win the division, they would probably end up having the tie break on the Rams because they would actually have to beat the Rams, so there wouldn't be a split there.
No,
like,
but
if they lose to the Rams again,
2-0 to the Cards.
Yeah, but
they probably can't make that up. We're running out of track.
You don't think that they can? If they lose this game, they're down one game to the Cardinals.
1.5 games.
You don't think they can make that up? This is the Cardinals we're talking about here.
Not saying they can't make it up, but I'm just saying it becomes harder for you to game that out because they still have games against good teams left.
Geoff,
it's not like they have a waltz.
That's probably a better argument. But do you find that Tim always does this? Where like halfway through the season, it's like, well, they're down by a game and a half. Impossible to come back.
Not
like,
impossible, but it's incredibly difficult to make up games as the season goes. Like particularly when you've got
it's amazing how like a birdie bogey swing changes everything quickly.
I'm taking Seattle in this game. I don't find that their spreads mean all that much. It did in that Minnesota game, but they either lose or they win by like 8 or more just because they enjoy touchdowns. I just hope, as we're recording this, we don't know if Carson's going to play. We don't know if Tyler Lockett is going to play. Like, they might be down a bunch of guys. I'm guessing that those guys are going to go. Well, Lockett probably more so than Carson at this point, but it's not like they run the ball a ton anyway. I'll side with Russell Wilson over Kyler. Is there anything significant? MVP, like, odds are completely different. You have a nice scroll there?
Yeah, I'm just getting a note. I'm preparing a note because something I want to quote later. That's all.
Okay. Could have waited till then. It's very distracting when you're just on your phone the entire time. I feel like you're not listening to me.
I am very much on you're about to drop an interesting note.
I'm not. I just trying to ask you a
You are
question.
looking up something for a note.
What really, besides having a better record, has Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, don't they seem like they're the same? Like, if Josh Allen wins that game, are we saying Josh Allen's MVP? No. But Kyler throws a Hail Mary and he is, despite Josh Allen playing probably better than him this year?
Yeah. I like it. I agree. I like them both.
I don't know what their passer ratings are.
I'd say Josh Allen's probably better, but Kyler's, projected to score, 16 rushing touchdowns or something crazy and have over 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. I mean, the rushing is insane.
Allen actually has taken the lead in passing yardage this season.
Oh, not good for him. He'll probably be cut next year, just like last year's passing leader.
Kyler's
But I'm just saying that's interesting.
Kyler's rushing ability and ability to be so swift and not take hits is quite amazing and remarkable. And I love him. And I love Josh Allen.
He runs around like my son when I'm trying to get him ready for school. Like he's just in between the chair and then he's around the table. And I'm just too big to get around him. He's got there. It's tough to beat. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville to open up the 1:00 slate on Sunday. Jacksonville is a 10-point dog at home, coming off a cover against Green Bay, blowing up Tim's free money tease. That was one of the games. 47.5 is the over-under. Pittsburgh finally had a game that they needed to have. Not they needed to have, but being an undefeated team and beating Cincinnati by a ton shouldn't really make you more or less legitimate than they were before. But they just weren't blowing anybody out. They finally did it. This just seems like a spot where Pittsburgh historically doesn't cover a ton of gigantic spreads. In fact, they failed to cover their past 7 games as 10-point favorites. So I'm just going to go with Jacksonville again, muck it up a bit.
You kind of just stole what I was going to say. Not a hard case to be made, but you feel like they'll sleepwalk through this game. Might even look like the Dallas game in many ways, or maybe we get the back door, but I'm going to take the points here.
Tim, were you getting concerned that the Jags were going to knock you out of Survivor last week?
I was torn because, of course, if they won, that would have basically sealed up the first overall pick for the Jets because we ain't getting to 2 wins. But yes, I didn't want to get knocked out of Survivor. So I guess it was a reasonably acceptable outcome. Use Luton is good. What can I say?
Choose Luton.
He's half decent. I shouldn't say he's good. He's half decent. He's playing fine. We're going to tease the Steelers down. That's the first end of a 7-point tease. Only 4 teams on the tease this week. We're playing a little more safe. Taking the Steelers, and we're going to lay the 10, and we're going to tease them down to 3.
So Pittsburgh -3.
Yeah, I expect this to be like a game that Jacksonville hangs in, but in the end, it's like 34-17. But Pittsburgh scores like 2 touchdowns late or something like that.
Yeah, this could be another Pittsburgh rout. This is the perfect type of team to just unleash all of their weapons on.
But this is the look-ahead classic. They have Baltimore Thursday night on Thanksgiving. If there was ever a look-ahead, they would basically, if not mathematically, clinch the division next week, all but clinch it next week with a win. So, this is the ultimate look-ahead spot, Jacksonville, to that game.
Next one. Oh, a very famous Thanksgiving primetime game from a few years ago that Tim still talks about to this day for whatever reason. Atlanta at New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 5. No Drew Brees with his collapsed lung. He's playing through a collapsed lung. Darnold's too soft to play. What are we doing here? 50.5 is the over-under. Jameis. It's got to be Jameis, right? Taysom Hill's not starting.
I mean, you guys made MVP conversation. This happened about a month and a half too late for me and my 150 to 1 Jameis MVP bets. I think he's the best quarterback on the roster. You know, Pat, what's happened here? Are the Saints a good team?
Yeah.
Are we going to the backup?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Jameis, let's go.
They're also
good team on the backup. I don't care what the Falcons are coming off of. I don't care if Ridley plays, doesn't play. Good team. First game with the new quarterback, who I think is the best quarterback on the roster. I'm ready. Saints.
Falcons by a bunch. Falcons are in the short list for Superlock. So Falcons by a ton, I think.
Are you going to claim that you should have won this game against the spread when they lose by 35? You're like, no, it was actually close, though.
They were in the red zone.
Not. Again,
I know the game.
A road dome team, which I love. Jameis is very sloppy. He was sloppy against San Francisco.
I mean, he got LASIK surgery now. He's fine.
He looked sloppy against the 49ers. They could have easily lost that game last week. Outside of the Tampa game, the Saints have still been living very dangerously. The Falcons are sort of coming on. The Falcons, the whole world is going to be on New Orleans here, and I expect the Falcons to win it, and I think the Falcons should win it on the money line too. I love Atlanta here. Let's go with them.
But they're not a part of your teaser, despite the fact that
I'm teasing down this week. I'm teasing down.
You would pick them to win on the money line, yet they are not one of your, and they're in range for your super lock at +5.
My risk. I'm spreading out my risk.
Why don't you just pick the games that you like for your fucking teaser?
Listen, you let me do what I want to do.
But I'm genuinely curious.
I'm trying to shake things up here a little bit this week by playing very safe with my teas and adding a team, teasing it up through only really 7 and 10 to 12, which is a dead number, is just not worth it to me.
Yeah, but you're all about free money. Oh, I can throw this one on. It's free money. You think they're going to win? You can just even
why not just play the Falcons money line on its own? Why get that even
because
involved?
you won't. Because you won't. We know you.
I like the Falcons quite a bit here. I think they're I think you either bet Atlanta, you can't bet this game. I think that's the way it looks.
I think the line's way too low.
Is Ridley playing?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to play. He's back practicing. How well does Jameis have to play to keep this job?
It doesn't matter. He could throw 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. He will be benched the second Drew Brees is back.
That is exactly what
There's
said.
literally no debate about it. Literally none.
He would have to. I think that the only chance, probably like a 5% chance, that if he actually does play it at an MVP level, where this team is just dynamic with him because he can throw the ball more than 20 yards. But they can also go in the other direction here. Tim isn't wrong about this, that Jameis could just be absolutely abysmal. I
love Jameis. I'm the biggest Jameis booster on this podcast and have been for years. I love the guy. I don't like this spot for him.
Do you think it would have been better off for his future finances, Geoff, if Jameis had not played a snap this season? Because everyone's already talking about, like, oh man, the Colts should have signed Jameis instead of Phillip Rivers. Like this team should have signed Jameis. Jameis is so good, but we haven't seen him. So he was only increasing his stock by not doing stupid things.
I guess, but then you look at, I don't know. I think there's such a good coach offensive scheme there and players there that I think it works for him, much like it worked for Teddy.
Yeah, but Teddy's been good in Carolina.
I think Jameis is good. I think when you have an MVP type ceiling and his touchdowns and yards are that, he makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, but that also fosters the touchdowns and yardage or all the stupid mistakes because he throws himself out of games and has to throw himself back into games.
I like Jameis. I like Jameis a lot. I believe enough in Jameis that him getting to play with that offense and that coaching staff, offensive coaching staff, won't hurt his next prospects.
I like New Orleans in this game -5 as well. The only counter I'd make to Teddy is Teddy's a lot more like Breeze, that it was just very easy to step into this offense. They might have to redesign the offense a little bit. And for the love of God, can we not get Taysom Hill 12
you get
touches?
more.
No,
There will never, ever, ever be enough Taysom Hill for Sean Payton. I think in part he's trolling people who hate him too. And if that's the case, good on him. Because whatever, the fact that it annoys people almost makes me want to hope it works when I see it because it just drives people crazy.
Tennessee at Baltimore. This I found to be the most confusing line of the week. The Ravens are favored by 6.5, and the total is 49. I'm blindly taking Tennessee here. What are we doing with the Ravens? Maybe they'll win by. Are we just going to wait for them to win by 50 points every single week, and then they just lose every week?
I mean, I'm willing to write off a lot of last week just on the weather.
Yeah, but it's not like they've looked good.
They looked horrible with the offensive line injuries. On like first glance, Pat, not only am I taking Tennessee blind, they're on a short list for Superlock, but I feel like I got to just re-examine that because I got taken the cleaners with that Ravens result last week. That was ending a lot of teasers for me. And that probably would have been on my short list for Superlock last week. So I don't want to completely reverse on like, I loved Baltimore last week. I don't want to like just go to hating and picking on them. But I loved them laying that touchdown last week. And I think Tennessee right now, my perception of Tennessee today is exponentially higher than my perception of New England a week ago. And I know we're a half point from a key number, but the spread is practically the same. And that's confusing.
And strangely, Tennessee was in good shape against Indianapolis on Thursday night, and then things just got completely derailed.
Special teams.
Yeah, it's special team stuff. Although the Ravens do have a very good special team.
They have extra rest.
It's just a situation where it's just hard to score, make impactful special teams plays that impactful week after week after week. It happens to you like twice on a Thursday night.
Oh, the Dolphins do it every week.
Yeah, well, the Dolphins are amazing.
The Bears do it every week.
The Dolphins are actually inspired, though. We talked about this the last few
That
weeks.
is true. No, that's true. So I got Tennessee. I again, this is on the list of potential super locks, but I think I'm being tricked.
Yeah, I'm going to allow myself to be tricked on this. I don't want to overthink it. I have one that I've like galaxy brained into taking the wrong side of this week. So I'm happy about just one so far that I've seen. Tim, where are you going with this? Because both of Geoff and I are on Tennessee.
Baltimore.
All right, you're with the coin. You're with Baltimore.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it could be very sort of a facsimile of last week where Tampa looked terrible on Sunday night. The world didn't believe in them, and then they crushed their opponent the next week. Now, obviously,
What do you mean the
Tennessee's
world didn't
better.
believe on? The most bet on team last week was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, well then, fair enough. That's a that's a perceptive thing.
And
that I
I'm
picked
certain
up on.
Tennessee will be a publicly backed underdog
Yes.
this week. I'll bet on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore, though. I mean, I still think I still think that when you look at the way that the Ravens construct their offense, I think that the Titans and they run very similar types. And so it's hard for, I think, either to jump out to a big lead. And I think Jackson is well positioned to not have to worry about getting down 14 or 21 points and having to mount a big comeback. So I think Tennessee is a team that fits Baltimore well. Plus, the Titans beat them in the playoffs last year, and you would know that these Ravens guys would love to trounce Tennessee for that, even if they can. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not super like pulled one way or the other, but if I have to lay less than 7 with the reigning MVP against the Titans team, which I'm still not 100% bought in, and I guess I'm going to take Baltimore.
Next game, Cincinnati at the Footballs. The Footballs are 1.5 point favorites. 46.5 is the over-under. Washington has 2 pushes against the spread, depending on closing lines. Although on our show, they would have covered against Detroit last week because they were 4-point dogs when we did the show. Which when you lose by 3, then you're not so bad. Alex Smith, it's a good story. He definitely wins comeback player of the year over Roethlisberger, regardless of how good Roethlisberger plays. Right?
It could be minus a gazillion.
I don't even know if you can bet on that award, but. If it was anyone,
I love the Bengals here.
Is this the one that I'm gonna talk myself in and out of? No, I got another one of those coming up. I'm taking Washington. I think when you say like the world is going to be on one side, I feel like the world is going to be on Cincinnati here. And the best unit in this game is Washington's front 7.
We're 5 for 5.
Cincinnati just got drubbed.
What's that?
Cincinnati did just get drubbed. I don't know how many people are like running at full speed to bet on the Bengals.
Yeah, but most people outside of you acknowledge that the Steelers are really good. So they're
Well,
not
I have to admit they're really good. They're 9-0.
They're not too concerned about the 2-win Bengals losing to the 9-0 Steelers.
They're more like that 9-0 Chiefs team from 2003 that was 9-0, but you sort of raised your eyebrow. Not like a 9-0 Patriots team from 2007, but nonetheless, they're 9-0 and they're a really good team. And the Bengals were just didn't have the wherewithal to compete with them. But the Bengals can score, and Washington still struggles to score. And in a game between 2 pretty bad teams, the Bengals have such an advantage at quarterback that alone inclines me to take them. And the Redskins have no fans, so it's not like you have to worry about any sort of noise whatsoever. Taking the Bengals.
I like the Redskins here. I'm kind of
You guys are just the worst at this.
I'm kind of alarmed. What?
He's saying it. You're saying it. They're the Footballs, Jeffrey.
Oh, right. Sorry.
You're going to be fined $1,000.
Okay, yeah, let's start finding me something fair though.
And you're using it with the hard R too. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we may have to change the on YouTube. It asks you what type of profanity. We may have to go. We may have to take it up a notch.
Yeah, can't monetize.
What
this
is
episode.
wrong with me?
He did it too. Don't just.
Yeah, but
blame
I do it
yourself.
every week. I like Washington. I lost my train of thought. I'm disappointed. I think me and Pat are now on every single game together. So I'm going to bring you down.
No, this is your rebound week.
I hope so. I don't know. I think it's a better roster. I don't think they'll have that hard of a time scoring against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's probably the worst defense they've played in some time. Washington's able to open up. McLaurin.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm glad you pronounced it McLaurin because people call him F1, which makes absolutely, it's the thing that you know how you get triggered about everything? This is the one thing that really makes me mad. I hate that nickname so much because it makes absolutely no sense. If his name was McLaren, I completely get it. It's not.
No, that's Tim's receiver, Mims.
What?
Didn't Tim refer to
Correct.
Mims as he's got a McLaren in his garage?
Yes, and
too
then I haven't had a
rich?
chance to do anything. Well, it's not too rich. I just haven't had a chance to drive many faster than like 30 kilometers an hour.
You send him over the top Sunday. You could have something.
Well, yeah. There's
I
no
like-
one
I
who
like the
plays on that
Redskins.
defense. So sure.
I like the Redskins.
Again.
Ban him. Jeff's gonna get canceled.
Thank you. And no, our American friends, this is not Monopoly money, but it's not worth. It's worth like €0.50. Put it that way. Washington is 2-1-1 against the spread when the spread has been 3 or less so far this year. They play a lot of close games.
Yeah, I don't think Alex Smith has been as bad as Tim is making him out to be. I think they.
I don't think I said much about him being bad, but I mean Burrow's significantly better.
Yeah, but I don't think they will struggle to score points like you perceive he will this week.
Fair enough. Like I'm not jazzed about this game. I doubt I'll watch much of this game.
I'm definitely watching a bunch of this game.
My
This game reeks of
inclination
me.
is towards the Bengals. I think this Bengals team just has more skill up and down. That's all. We'll see. I could be wrong.
Philly and Cleveland. My super lock last week would have covered, but Nick Chubb stuck his foot out at the 1 yard line.
Man.
I'm not upset about it. If someone makes a smart football play that helps you secure the win, it was just like Kyler taking the knee on the 2-point conversion. It's a smart football play. Yeah, it fucked anyone who bet the Cardinals in that game if they got the closing line of 2.5, and it fucked someone like me who had 3.5, 3 and a hook with the Browns over the Texans. But it's the right move. You can't be mad that someone did the right thing as it pertains
And in
to
both those cases, neither the Browns or Arizona were ever the right side. So you shouldn't. I mean, I know it sucks that those happened if you were holding those tickets, but both of those would have been wins that weren't really deserved.
I'm
You know
just.
what I
I felt like the Browns absolutely dominated the Texans last week.
Okay.
I didn't see any of it. I'm just annoyed.
Neither did Tim.
I lost an important.
No, I didn't. I watched the YouTube highlights. That's all I saw.
So you had a good feel for the game, do you? Of who should have covered and who shouldn't have?
Well, from the highlights, I mean, and the YouTube highlights are actually very excellent.
Is that what you
for-
do? You just watch the scoring highlights of the game?
When I'm watching the Masters, yes, and I don't have time to watch football. Yeah, I focus on that. So sue me.
I lost an important match. I hate. You know what? I should just shut up because I don't want to hear your poker stories. I didn't get those Chubb points. He got the Kyler touchdown. I lost by like 19 yards. That goddamn bullshit made up holding penalty on Dalvin Cook on Monday on his only good run of like 35 yards.
Oh,
It was like a 7 coin flip thing that lost me my match.
Does that mean you're out of the playoffs?
No, I'm not out. But I have the most points in the league, and I am not in a playoff spot.
That's
That's real freaking annoying.
That's
right now.
why you need the wild card rule, like in my league. I think I bring this up to you every single year. We get the top 6 teams make the playoffs, but
See,
only
that's already too many teams.
we have 14. You only have 4 playoff teams with 14 teams in your league.
12, yeah.
You have 12. You go to 14. You make it 6. The top 2 teams get a bye.
I mean, we don't like anyone enough to add 2 teams.
You guys sound like fun. Anyway, the last playoff spot should be the team who scores the most points in the regular season.
Yeah, but what if that team's already in the playoffs?
Then it goes to the second team with the most points. Whoever comes 6th in our league by record is an automatic winner.
I'm just a horrible coach, but a good GM. It's my own effing fault.
Your team sounds
well,
like the Chargers.
I
in
spent
real
the whole
life.
weekend being yelled at for being what a bad GM I am.
Oh,
so
that's
don't feel
that's
too
coming up later.
bad.
I guess if we're
see what
talking about fantasy football stories at this point, Tim got raked through the coals for 2 separate trades that he made.
Oy.
Because I accused him of collusion at one point.
He's too honest. You know that can't
I
be
know,
possible.
but I felt like giving him a hard time. That Tim and I made a trade, and then everyone gave in, like he got attacked about collusion between the two of us, which there was none.
No, I would never do that.
So-
I have no problem with someone calling me a dummy or a fool or an idiot for a trade I make. That does not bother me. But I would never, ever, 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 ever collude on a trade. That's against my nature. I could never do such a thing.
I believe
And I
him.
just was taking from pillar to post criticisms about it. Then I went out to dinner later in the evening and I heard about it there too. Like it never ended.
But everyone knows
No, there was someone in our league, probably the person who should never say anything because he never pays, his partner pays. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, they're supposed to alternate every year, but the one guy always ends up paying.
Yeah.
This guy not shutting his mouth about anything. He's got a lot of opinions for someone who doesn't pay, put it that way.
Sounds nice. You go out for dinner
Yeah, it would be nice to go to. They had like
with your friends.
They had a whole party. Tim was dressed up like a fancy man. Let me show you this picture of Tim.
It wasn't a party per se. I mean, we all went out to dinner at a steakhouse.
So what was the trade?
Oh, it's just I absolutely rooked Tim.
No, I did not. So it's a keeper league. And so I dealt him Robbie Anderson, who isn't that useful to me. And I think he's actually kind of overperforming and wasn't that great last week, by the way. Robbie Anderson, Jarek McKinnon, who is, he's just a plug and play maybe, and Brandon Cooks, who could get hurt at any moment. For Traquan Smith, who's a 12th round keep, who I really like and think could have real potential, and wouldn't be shocked if he and Jameis developed a real connection.
He's out this week.
Didn't he die
Josh-
last week?
Yeah, he died last week as soon as I traded
For
him.
Joshua Kelly, who I think ought to be the number one back by far in LA. He's the most talented back they've had since Tomlinson. He should be getting the ball. And I also got Wentz just as a fill-in quarterback. And so that was my trade. I like the upside of the young guys. I'm building for next year. I don't care about this season. And people just went crazy about it. Oh, and then I had to give Pat 50 fab bucks, which I didn't want to give him the fab bucks, but he's like, well, I won't make the trade otherwise. And I was like, well, fine then. If he gets the trade done, I really wanted Joshua Kelly. I really wanted Traquan Smith. So it was what it was. And Kelly should have scored this week too. It was, anyway, annoying.
Yeah, I know the play. If there should have been a couple linemen there to just push him. But.
Well, that's it. Anyway, Kelly is a very, very, very talented running back who doesn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, he's in Lynn's doghouse.
For some reason, it isn't clear.
Why does Tim want Joshua Kelly, who's not going to even see a snap once Austin?
If
Eckler
you believe
comes
that
back?
Eckler is like the guy going forward forever and ever in LA,
I think Justin
I don't.
Jackson's even better than Joshua Kelly.
But Kelly's no talent matters here. Kelly's the most talented running back they have. Whether he gets the opportunity, I hope next year with a new coach.
Did you
and a new
watch
philosophy.
a
This is
game
why
at
Kelly
UCLA?
sucks.
He watched
once or
highlights of a
something?
game at UCLA, Josh. But
Where's
he's
your
really
opinion
good.
of Joshua Kelly from?
From all the various, I like to go on YouTube and look at clips of guys from college and from and I saw some of those runs and went, man, oh man, oh man, that's talent, that's potential, and I always want to be on the guy that no one really sees coming, but I see coming, and I think he has that.
I mean, he was a fourth round pick. When you invest a fourth round pick in a player in 2021 NFL, I mean, that's a guy.
Anyway,
running
you would
back.
think so.
the whole point of the thing is now there's a whole discussion like, oh, we need vetoes in our league. It's like, we don't need vetoes. I will continue to decide, like, well, who checks you? It's like, you don't. If there's no collusion, I'm not going to collude. Tim is.
Who polices the police?
I am far more likely to collude with someone than Tim is, who would never do anything of the sorts. But if you introduce vetoes into the league in a league vote, then there's going to start. You shouldn't be held accountable for making a bad trade. People make bad trades all
concerning.
the time.
Teams that are good can gang up on a team that maybe is making a trade to
Exactly.
join them and also being good, and so that doesn't help.
Anyway, like I think I won the trade pretty handily. I was very proud of myself with the trade. But
Well, I'm sure you do. Why would you make a trade you didn't like? But I made it because I liked it. And I could be wrong, but I'm rolling the dice on a couple of real big upside guys that I think could hit big. And the guys I gave away, I think are, a couple of ham and eggers. So whatever.
you got us down this fantasy football road.
I hate it.
Let's hear your poker stories too. You got a bad beat you
No,
want to tell
I
me
don't
about?
play poker.
Jeff
but
had quad aces and somebody turned a straight flush on him.
I don't play poker, but I can't stand bad beat stories the same way I can't stand fantasy stories.
Philly and Cleveland.
I'm supposed to sometimes pretend I care about your fantasy stories, though.
Are you?
No, but
When do you pretend?
never
You go to
mind.
parties, Jeff, and people go, "Oh, you're into fantasy football. Here, let me show you my team."
Oh God. Or you show up, be like, I'm pretty good in my fantasy league. I think I should be on your show. Like, really? Do you now? Like, maybe they hear Tim and they're like, yeah, anyone can be on this show. Maybe they're right.
I tell people there's two ways you can get on Pat's show. Be really, really, really good at what you do, or be like Homer and just show up the day the plant opens. That alone are the ways you get on the show.
That is actually kind of true.
Are you implying that I was there the day the plant opened? I don't know.
No,
what
I'm
we're
saying I
talking-
was there the day the plant
Yeah,
opened.
you kind of were too. You were sitting next to me. Oh, fired up for a DC. Can we talk about this? Do we just really not want to talk about Philly and Cleveland?
I mean, what is there to say? Both teams are awful, but the Browns are probably going to be a playoff team, and maybe
Spread
the
seems
Eagles
low.
are too, but like the Giants have an easy schedule down the stretch compared to the Eagles, so I don't even know.
Oh, disciplined Browns running game. I would have put the spread at like 4.5 or 5.
It's 3.5. I think people are just so enamored with the names on Philly because you can start some of these guys on your fantasy team that it makes it seem like they're really good. Or maybe they're remembering Carson Wentz from his MVP first half from 3 years ago. I don't know what it is. They just look awful. They're not going to win this division, are they? I'm kind of convinced, although the Giants now look like they're the best team in the division, that Washington is going to win this division.
Crazy.
Well, then you might make the case that Washington's the best team, although I don't know. I think the Giants are 3-7, and the Giants have some really tight losses to some really good teams. The Giants are like a blink away from being like 5-5 or 6-4. Like that's the team I feel the worst for. I don't know. I'm taking the Browns. I can't play Philly anymore.
I'm going to take the Browns too. This happens to me every week with the Browns where I'm high on them and then I like tune in Sunday morning. It's like, oh, gale force winds up to 60 miles per hour.
Great. Browns win 9-6. Eagles cover. Lovely.
Yeah. And that's what ends up happening. And then we're on Cleveland. It's like, oh, fantastic. I'm going to take Cleveland though. I think they're going to run all over them.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns. This line is alarmingly shorter than I would have guessed.
I don't think that you can give Cleveland that much credit, though, even against Philadelphia. Like, this is a potential division champion here against the Browns, who are sneaking into the playoffs.
Cleveland has scored 10 points or fewer in several games this year. So,
Coin likes Philly, so that's good news for us because the coin sucks at picks. New England and Houston. Houston, 2-point underdogs at home in this matchup. They're horrendous against the spread. They're 2-7 on the year. And you see New England, they beat Baltimore in a primetime game at home. This just all leads me to betting on Houston this week. Just Deshaun Watson's better than Cam. What are you doing to that piece of paper?
I'm trying to find the game where I'm going to not agree with you because I just can't go the entire slate agreeing with you. And I hate that you like Houston here.
I rarely like Houston, but I think this is a good spot for them. It seems like the Patriots are being overvalued because everyone watched them beat Baltimore on Sunday night. Like Houston should be favored in this game. They're a better team.
I don't know about that.
So you're taking New England?
Bad. Yeah, I am. I think the Patriots probably win. Well, not probably win the game. I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to win the game. I like them in this spot. Texans are playing terribly. I can't in good conscience counsel taking the Texans. They're only getting a point right now. The Patriots should have lost to the Jets on Monday night, but they found a way to win. And then they were probably not the best team on Sunday night, but they found a way to win. And that is a credit to them, that despite not playing the best of football, they still put 2 wins together. Houston's worse than the Ravens. So the Patriots have a couple of tough games, but a relatively reasonable schedule. This wouldn't be shocking to me if the Patriots found a way to get into the playoffs. And in fact, why wouldn't they seem to do it every darn year? So yeah, we're going to take the Patriots here. I kind of like the corner they're turning.
Just give me Watson over Cam.
At this point, really? I mean, the Watson's just not playing well. I know I picked him for MVP. I love
Watson's
the guy.
playing well,
but he's having a down year.
Since O'Brien's been gone, Watson's been great. I'm not going to count last week's win game.
We also had Bill O'Brien was 0-4 against the spread when he was the head coach. At least with Crennel, they're 2-3. So at least they're covering games at this point. The factor here is New England's going to, if they can effectively run the ball, which they should be able to do, and control the clock. Like you can run on Houston where they're one of the worst run defenses in football. It's just we haven't seen one of these Deshaun Watson go mental games, and it feels like is like Gilmore going to be back? Is he playing? Or is he like half 50%? Like what's going on there?
I don't know. Percent signs?
Anyway, I'm taking Houston. Detroit and Carolina.
Probably find out if he practiced today.
We don't know if Teddy B is starting for Carolina. It could be XFL sensation. Was it PJ Walker?
Yeah, Jimmy Walker.
Golfer Jimmy Walker or Dynamite Jimmy Walker?
I don't know. That's a good question. PGA champion Jimmy Walker.
So let's hope that the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers does not have Lyme disease. That means he'd only be able to play like a quarter and a half before he got too tired. It's going to take him a while to go through that. The Panthers are favored by 1.5 either way over Detroit. Stafford's dealing with a thumb injury, but X-rays came back negative on that front. Probably no Galladay, maybe no Amendola for them.
No, they want those guys ready to roll for Thanksgiving, right?
Let me pick.
Okay.
So just in case you're copying me.
I know who I'm taking.
Carolina. I'm taking Carolina. I'm taking Carolina. Matt Rule at home. I don't know. There's injury questions on both sides.
The great Matt Rule, yeah. That's definitely a reason to take somebody. It's because of Matt Rule. Okay.
I'm going to take
Detroit. Oh, yeah. Patricia sucks. I don't dispute that. Taking Detroit. Detroit's a better football team right now.
I think there's less question. I have less concerns about where some things will happen and come from with Carolina than I do Detroit in this game. So
everyone is super gung-ho for DeAndre Swift after the week that he had. But Tim, you're the AP whisperer. Doesn't this seem like a game where Matt Patricia would be like, that's a lot for the rookie. Let's go back to AP.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And yes, I do. I think AP could actually have a pretty good week this week. I like the Lions here. We know the Panthers defense has got real problems. They can't stop anybody. Now, part of that's they've been playing some teams recently, like the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, who have top tier offenses, but that defense is still pretty tough. And the Panthers playing a backup QB that you'd never heard of, and McCaffrey is not going to play. And I'm only getting a point and a half. I'm getting a point and a half when I think I should be laying points in this circumstance. And might end up laying points probably by the time kickoff happens if Bridgewater doesn't play. I think you've got to take the Lions here. The Lions are 4-5. They win this week. They have the Texans on Thanksgiving. Lions could easily be 6-5 in a week and a half, and with a chance to maybe gallop towards the playoffs if you think that one of those NFC West teams fall apart or either Tampa or New Orleans fall apart. Like there's a lane there, you might say, for the Lions.
Oh,
big game for them.
I didn't
realize
Panthers
are done. The Lions are live.
See, I like this. I like what he's saying now. He made the critical mistake, Geoff, because we have this Cardinals versus Lions total wins bet from before the season.
Uh-oh.
Big money, too. So last week, he goes out and curses the Bills, saying like they can't lose to Arizona. And of course, Arizona comes back Hail Mary time. And now he's picking Arizona. And just to see, now he's very conflicted about it because he wants Seattle to lose. So they have a better draft pick for the Jets to have. But now he's also cursing his money out by taking Arizona. But he can't quit. I think you've picked the Lions to cover every week this year.
I may have. I like this team, and I like Matt Stafford. And the Lions and Falcons are two teams I have trouble quitting. And the Rams, for that matter, are just teams that week after week I just come back to thinking, man, they should win. They're good. I don't explain it, except other than what you just said to preface that is all nonsense. I'm not trying to play some sort of black magic, underhanded, ulterior motive game here. Just picking the games as I see them.
There is good news for your favor that Detroit is on the road. They have yet to cover a game at home. They're 0-3-1, and they're actually 3-2 on the road in terms of covering games. ATS.
Very curious. And we'll see their marquee matchup with the Texans next week on Thanksgiving, how that goes.
Well, that'll be good.
What are the games?
That'll be at home.
Texans, Lions, Washington Professional Football Team, Dallas, and then so those two teams are god awful. But then Baltimore, Pittsburgh at night.
Do you worry that the Lions are a dome team and they continue to go outdoors and cover spreads?
Well, I'm not worried about it if they keep doing it.
I suppose so. Brings us to the halfway point of the show, which means we're at Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
A lot of people aren't calling it that.
Who isn't calling it that besides you?
The people in general. The DMs I get, people say, good work, TC.
You DM yourself now from your burner accounts, do you?
I don't have burner accounts.
We know you have like 17 burner accounts.
No, I don't. I wouldn't do that. Just like I was told that I couldn't apply for that PS5 giveaway because I'd have all those burners to apply for it.
Post a DM from anybody who said that your name or that the show is not called Cust Corner.
I could easily do that. And that
From
would
the
annoy-
last week.
do it.
From the last week.
I don't need to prove anything.
Sounds pretty real. So, remember how Tim said he wasn't addicted to McDonald's? He was just addicted to Monopoly stickers? Well, McDonald's is now running a 2-for-5 Egg McMuffin deal, and Tim's been going every day.
Not every day, but it's such. I know that it's good marketing, but like I was going all the time because the McMuffins had the stickers, and now they're 2 for $5 when there aren't stickers. And like that's such a good deal. At least I think it's a good deal because of what I was spending before
What's
on
it
them.
cost normally?
Like a meal was like, I don't know, I feel like it was like $7.
No,
to
what's
get
a McMuffin cost?
I don't think I've ever bought a McMuffin on
So
its
you
own.
have no idea if this is a deal or not. They could be charging you more for all you know.
I'm pretty sure they're $3.19 a piece. The sausage and egg McMuffin. The one with the ham is terrible. I'd never eat that one.
Tim too rich.
Oh, hold on. You'd never eat that one, or you've never eaten that one?
I would never select that one.
But then how do you know that it's awful?
Because why would I want ham when I could have the bacon or the sausage? Like
Is it all day, these sandwiches?
these are all day, 2 for $5 all day. This is such a
Can I give you
it's hard to pass up on it. Now I know I can't have it every day. For example, I got to go to the doctor's tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be firing those into.
I'd rather-
Wait, you're trying to what are you going to tell your doctor?
I'd rather the hash
When he asks you about your eating habits, are you going to tell him that you're going to McDonald's like once every 2 days?
Well, I don't know that it'll get to be that in depth of a conversation.
Can you record that meeting? How many?
No, that would be
how
illegal
many-
in so many ways.
How many sodas do you consume a week? Oh, about 24 DCs.
No more.
Do you not get hash browns now with the 2 for $5?
McDonald's all the
No,
time.
you get 2 sandwiches for $5.
Pack
That
of
is
cigs
such
a
a
day.
deal. It is. Like you look at that and go, my God, that's real savings. Now I understand.
So what do
you
you
be getting it that often? But I drive by and it's like, man, that is such a deal. And then I feel like a
Why do
chump
you
for
care
not
about
stopping and buying.
that? But the way you talk about like how frivolously you don't look at prices at the grocery store, what do you
I
care?
still
if
know
nor-
what a good deal is.
But what do you? But
Do
like-
you know what a
But
good deal
normally,
is?
like it might be 2 for like $6.50.
Okay, well then I'm saving $1.50.
Yeah,
that
but
I
you
wasn't
don't have
saving
to
for
spend the
last
money
month.
on Egg McMuffins.
I know I don't have to, but I feel like bad when I drive by. I go, man, I could have bought
It's
that.
like the
'Cause you're
Harveys.
addicted.
It's like the 2
You
for
are
$6 Harveys
addicted.
burgers.
I'm
Yeah.
not addicted.
It sounds like you have what you are saying is what
You
addicted
can't get
people say.
addicted to McMuffins. That's
you
not
make?
possible.
Did you make a note in your journal?
No, I saw it on TV or on the Twitters. I think the next day.
Yeah,
I
but
was like,
just like you
really?
said with the Harveys, you had to make a note in your journal.
Well, that I saw on TV. That's different. I was writing in my journal when it came on, so I made a note of it. And that's a good deal too. It's like anyway, these are all good deals. I don't know why you brought this up. Well, people don't need to know about this.
I'm happy you brought it up.
What did you get at the steakhouse? Did you get the foie gras like I suggested?
I didn't get the foie gras.
What are
but
you
I got
doing
everything
with
else,
yourself?
But I got everything else you recommended. I got the ribeye, like you asked. I got the truffle aioli, like you recommended, with the fries.
It was good.
It was excellent. It was truly excellent. It took us too long to order, but once we did order, it was really good, and it wasn't crazy expensive. At least I didn't think so. And it tasted great, and I was delighted.
How come you didn't get the gras? Is it because it's too rich? You're afraid of the gout?
No, it was late, and I just wanted to get my steak and my fries, and then I had been out of the house for more than like 2 hours. And I was like, all right, this is long enough. It's probably time for me to go home now.
Hold on.
So
How
I kinda-
long? Hold on. You're literally like my 80-year-old father. I've been out of the house. You just said, how long were you out of the house?
Like 2.5, 3 hours at that point. Like
Now he's adding on to the
back.
back. Now he's adding on to the back. It was 2 hours. Now it's 2.5 or 3.
And I'm away from my house. Like, this is downtown.
2 hours.
Oh, at
This
least.
show takes over 2 hours to film. Jeff would have to leave before it's over.
Well, like, but I was like getting like, all right, it's time to go home now. I've been at Saturday night.
You
I got
go to
Sunday
work.
morning. What?
I'm saying like you're a working human. Like
He works at home now because of COVID.
I'm saying you know how to prepare for being out of the house.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's a Saturday night, and I don't, I'm
Even
out,
more reason
like
to not
my
be in a
normal-
rush to
You know
go
what?
home.
Okay, fine. I was out of my comfort zone. Is that what you wanted to hear? Fine.
The
I
whole-
was downtown,
the whole
out of my
world-
comfort zone.
The whole world wants to go out and eat. And Tim can do it. And all he wants to do is go home.
No, but I went out though. I thought about it for a while. I was like, do I really want to go? Like,
Was this the dinner you were
I'm-
getting harassed over about your trade?
well, that happened at this dinner. But anyway, I had to like get my courage up to say, okay, I guess you're gonna get out of the house. You're gonna go. Now next week on a Saturday, I'm going to this fancy Nordic spa to check that out. So that's really out of my house.
Paging all photoshoppers. We need TC.
Yeah,
at a
TC
Nordic
at
I'll
the
tell
Blue
the story
Lagoon
next
now.
week on the show. I'm going to this fancy Nordic spa in the wealthiest part of the province.
Of
Actually,
course,
called
Tim too
Cust.
rich.
But it will allow me to also buy the best pizza in the province on the way home. But anyway, I will
Pizza
get.
Hut?
No. It's this place that cuts up hot dogs like dollar wieners from the grocery store and puts it on a pizza. Apparently, it's just awful. Tim apparently loves it.
Anyway, it's fresh source stuff. It's really good. Anyways, but I'm going to this Nordic spa where apparently there's hot pools and cold pools.
What got you there?
I had read about and heard about it.
Who are you
And I was
going
like,
with?
Going by myself.
It's
Just gonna check it out.
It's what wealthy people do.
No. It's actually not that expensive. It's like $50 for a session. Like it's pretty cheap actually.
Sure, Tim.
And I want to test it
Yeah,
out.
like
So
$50 entry.
Yeah.
He's probably got 8 like buy-ups. He's already
course,
scheduled.
yeah.
yeah.
I've been to
Well,
my,
yeah,
my
there's
wife.
already
And,
looked at a
my wife
couple
and I
of-
go
I
to these
actually
things.
did.
You
A couple
walk
buy-ups.
out spending
Yeah.
a grand. is what
Yeah.
happens.
Tim's ready. He's made some check marks besides some upsells.
I actually have already looked at a
Yeah,
couple.
of course. What do you mean $50?
But anyway, that's what the
Does it
buy.
come with a happy
Anyway.
ending?
But no.
Comes with a
That's not what
tug.
do you know what a spa is?
Why don't you have a tug, pal? Is what they're going to tell you.
No, none of that is going to happen. It's
See,
going to be
you-
clean, ethical living.
Nothing wrong with a tug. All the
You
wealthy
people are turning everything into smut.
Ask Robert Kraft. He enjoys a tug.
Ugh.
Hold on. When did Monopoly start? In November or October?
October 7th, I do. believe.
So now you're gonna be in 2 full months of McDonald's binging.
No. I basically am done with it.
Really?
But like,
Except every other day, double barrel McMuffins.
no, not. I just mention it. So it ended last Monday. Monday was the 9th. There's no way I've been to McDonald's more than 5 times since then.
I think
No
it's
way.
still on.
So in the past 8 days, there's no way you've been there more than 5 times?
Yeah, I don't think I've been there more than 5 times.
See, when you say
Yeah,
it
5 times.
in numbers,
So that's
it's a
10
bit-
Oh,
McMuffins.
No, but it wasn't always McMuffins. I mean,
Yeah, it was
just coffee.
always 2 McMuffins.
Yeah, plus something else.
No, it might just be coffee or McMuffins. Anyway, sort of off track here.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
I was going to ask a question about something to do with sort of NFL statistics that there's got to be something wrong with the math. And this is the win expectancy percentages, because too many times this season has a team been 99% favored and lost. That can happen every now and then.
Is this
When
like
it seems
a
to happen as
Chargers joke?
often
What's
as it's
happening?
doing now,
No.
if it happens as often as it's happening, that tells me that there's something fundamentally screwed up with the math. I'm not in no position to tell you how to fix it because I can't. But it makes me very suspicious of these win percentage graphs that we see. If all the time teams seem to be like week after week, coming back from being 98% underdogs to win. Like there's something wrong there. Like they aren't accounting for something.
I would agree with you. I don't know the modeling that goes into win probability. Maybe I'll ask Leonie's going to be on the show on Thursday. He would actually probably have a pretty good grasp of what goes into it. But does it happen as often as we think, or do you just notice it when it does happen?
Well, it should only happen 1 every 100 games. Right?
Sure. But I mean,
An NFL season is 256 games long.
So
So you shouldn't see it.
But
more
there
than
is
two-
but there is you shouldn't see it more than 2.5 times per year. But if one year had 6 of them, then the next year had 1, that wouldn't be out of the range of outcomes either, right?
No, it wouldn't. And this is all a part of what I'd like to put to people is let's take a look at these numbers and figure out if there is a problem. But it does seem like you see on Twitter every single week, someone show a chart of a team that had a crazy high win expectancy rate and they lost. Like now, last week, I get it with that Cardinals Buffalo game. That is a prime example of where it makes sense that a 99.9% favorite lost. They lost on a Hail Mary. But you look at game after game after game, whether it be the Bears in week 1. I mean, we could rattle off all kinds, and I would say, okay, if this is happening this often, like there's a ghost in the machine, like something about the math is wrong.
I assume that it doesn't account for human error, which is generally the reason that these things happen. Either it's a bad decision or DeAndre Swift dropping a ball where he's wide open in the end zone.
Or Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, just doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, poor Geoff. How many times have you been on the run? I mean, I'm sure you probably know.
Well,
You guys have been like 95% favored this year and lost a game.
Well, when you brought this up, I thought you were just taking some blind shot at me. No, I wasn't. It just occurred to me now. No, it occurred to me now that the Chargers have actually been in those circumstances. Oh, yeah, it just occurred.
Well, it actually wasn't what I was thinking about the Buffalo game last week, and that's what actually got me to think about it.
Paul,
I would argue that it doesn't factor in the Ander curse. Please stop cheering for the Buffalo Bills.
Have you eaten a
Put
chilled...
the division away and I can stop. Until such time, I am obliged to cheer for the Bills.
Have you eaten
Miami
a chilled Reese's peanut butter cup yet?
Yes, out of the fridge and freezer. Fridge is much better. Much better. The freezer one actually is bad. I didn't like it.
The freezer one could freeze it too much, actually.
Maybe mine was too frozen.
Because I actually put some in my basement freezer, and they didn't freeze. They freeze too solidly.
I
fired mine in a deep freeze.
I prefer the fridge. We keep ours in the fridge.
Like all chocolate bars or just
all chocolate bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Fridge was great.
Some people say you eat too many chocolate bars.
Too many chocolate bars.
You don't wash your face.
Maybe Justin Herbert eats too many chocolate bars.
Chocolate bars. I don't know. I don't know what Herbert's up to. He's coming up here next, though. I had one more thing. Was there anything else, Tim? Because I wanted to talk about...
No, that was my big thing for this week.
I wanted to talk about virtual influencers for a minute. But maybe I should save that for the end of the year Cust Corner and we do some real things. But I'll leave you with this, Geoff. Okay, in Asia right now, because of the pandemic, people can't really go anywhere. So they've created these avatars, which are virtual influencers. So they're people with Instagram accounts or whatever China has as its main social media that are just holograms and computer generated images. And now these people, or these virtual influencers who aren't real people, have 3 to 6 million followers, and brands pay them or brands create them to go promote their products. So they're way better than people. You have to pay them less, and they can be in multiple places at once. I feel like that would freak Tim out.
Doesn't it kind of freak everybody out?
No, I actually think it makes a lot of intuitive
sense.
It's
That
that
uncanny valley thing, right? There's something eerie about its verisimilitude. I don't know. I get why a company would want to do it. I think it's creepy, Brave New World type stuff.
Is it any different than something like Doug the Pug, who just won the People's Choice Award, Tim? The People's Choice Award. And this is from the People's Choice Awards, the big awards. Doug the Pug, a big winner. Favorite animal.
See, he's bigger than an animal to me. He's a true celebrity as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, he's the People's Choice, Tim. Unlike you.
Yeah. Okay.
You're the self-proclaimed People's Tribune.
Sounds like a real rigged election, if you ask me.
Which election do you think is more rigged? Serious question. Rigged. All right, let's get into it. The main event. This was all just an appetizer. Hall of Famer Tua at the Denver Broncos.
Ugh.
The Broncos are 3.5-point dogs at home. 45 is the over-under. I can't remember ever seeing a player like Tua before. The inspiration that he clearly provides to his teammates, just some people are winners, some people are losers. Pat Mayo, big winner. Just a life winner. Tim Andercuss, big loser. I'm like Tua. I see a lot of myself in Tua. The fact that he can just melt into the circumstance. What do I need to do to help my team win? I'm not going to do too much. I'm not going to do too little. I'm going to do just right. He knows the porridge, Tim. He understands the equilibrium.
He's the Goldilocks of quarterbacks. Is what
He's
you're
like
saying?
a carousel. He goes up, down, and around. Feel the flow, the energy, Tim. That's what he brings. You see how well his defense is playing? All of a sudden, Tua is the quarterback, and they are fired up. They want to get and help Tua go undefeated lifetime in his career, I think. That's the sort of inspiration that I see out of these Miami Dolphins. So I am picking the Miami Dolphins to go into Denver because Drew Lock may or may not play here. I don't know, 4 defensive touchdowns this week, and then Tim spends all Sunday, Geoff, this is a true story, in our text thread, just being triggered about Tua every single play. Like it's unbearable, but it's also hilarious at the same time that he hates this guy so much, and him not realizing that he is powering Tua, the legend of Tua, to do great things.
I mean, he's hard to hate. He doesn't do anything bad. He doesn't do anything good. He's just sort of there at the moment.
That's what he needs to do.
That is true. You called it last week kind of perfectly, and it like played out that way from the moments one. And I will say that Flores, it's like the entire game knew exactly who he was coaching against.
Yes.
Like they had third and like 8s, and they're just running. And they got like one of them, but like they're just happy to get off the field. They're like, we don't care. We don't need to like try to make this kid look cool. No, he's, like you laugh at that parent who's like got their kid on a leash, like running away. That's literally Tua at the moment. I watched the entire game. Neither team made a goddamn fucking play. Even that block punt to start, the fucking punter fumbled it. And the best play of the game was the Xavier Howard interception.
Which Tim called fluky.
You watch that from the eye in the sky. Positioning the whole way. A bad throw by Herbert. There was never the separation there to make that throw, or he didn't see Howard there. Howard's a great player. Maybe tricked him into something. Confused the church. That was a professional football play. I don't know how many snaps were run in that game, but that was the one professional football game. We watched the game for fucking 3 hours. I saw one play from either team. Worthy of note. I'll get more into it after. I don't know. 2 is fine, but to glad hand the interception column annoys me.
5, no interception.
The ball went right through his hands.
Not even that one. The Perryman dropped one. Murray dropped one. Adderley dropped
wide
one.
open receivers
by the way,
all over the
this
place.
is why these guys play defense, Geoff.
You're right. All I'm saying,
rolling out.
I just want to say
terrible passes.
There was some nice play. I'm not like here to be like there was bad. I'm not
That's
like
what
him.
Tim's saying.
I'm not like him to also be like what we're seeing now is like the ceiling of what he's capable of. I'm not like crazy like that. But outside of like a couple nice 14-yard like rollout, maybe that hits his tight end. It's been 3 games. Like show me some. I haven't seen anything like the other 2 guys are doing. That being said, everyone gets graded on a curve, in my opinion,
the
in
other
2020.
guys are playing garbage time the entire time. Tua.
No, the problem is we don't play enough garbage time. That's our first garbage time of the year. We scored a touchdown in it.
Yeah,
to be
left-handed Trent
perfectly fair.
Dilfer's playing fine.
No, see, I don't want to go to where he's going. I
enjoy Tim's argument. For years, Tim has been saying that Darnold is great. It's his weapons, although he talks up their weapons every single year. But as soon as Darnold is bad, their weapons suck. What is Tua working with here? Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, and Mike Gesicki, and Salvon Ahmed in the backfield? He's winning games.
100 and some odd, and getting 100 and some odd yard passing a game. Like, now listen, I'm not Captain Hook, and Tua is not my crocodile. I'm not chasing him like a crazy person.
Yeah,
that's not what's
my
going
text
on.
thread would disagree with that.
I'm just saying, Geoff put it right. He's not good. He hasn't been bad. He's just been there.
He's been winning.
My annoyance is at the people who think he's like a world beater at quarterback. He's decisively the third so far of what we've seen of the 3 rookies. He's done nothing of note.
Through 3 games.
4-0, actually.
Through the games.
More combined wins than Burrow and Herbert.
Great. And this is from not even from me, but I wrote it down because it was from a friend in my division, the Titan fan. As Dolphin fan is getting over his bridges because the one thing that Tua's got is icon factor and better skin. But you watch this guy, he can't even hit the corner.
No, he can't.
Like the athletic, like I don't know. I'm not a college football expert. I get into it with the draft time. I watch some of the big games. He's not like he's not.
It just seems like you're mad that you didn't get Tua. Is all I'm hearing right now. Is what it sounds.
I will not even. That The only people
You don't complain this much if you're not triggered about it.
No, I'm
and all
not.
you've been doing,
Take
all
the
you've been
bait,
doing
Geoff.
for the
I'm not
past
taking
3
the bait.
days.
He's
For the past
baiting
3
you, I
days,
know.
you have taken to social media to complain about this, and then with the caveat, I'm not mad about this.
I'm only complaining that you just have to see what's happening. There's so much duck butter going on. We're the only
Yes.
fucking team in the league that would let him get away with that duck butter.
Mm-hmm.
And he got away with it. And that's fine. And this isn't the final exam. This is game 3 and they're winning. And he's
This
going to
will be
get
game 5.
And he's
4
going to get to play important games. But I see nothing there that scares me or think I missed on something. And I see all these teams. I see the Dolphins. We're going to play big games with the Dolphins for many years to come.
That's gonna be bad because Tua's so good.
We'll see. But I'm not concerned. And wins don't mean anything at this point. Like the eye in the sky is more important to me as a rookie than winning games. Ask the fans who drafted Vince Young. They went to an early playoff game. He played in a nice team, had nice lines, and did nice things around him without a ton of weapons. There's a lot of things. I'm not nearly him. I'm not like calling this a final act, though.
Neither am I. I think I'm saying
No,
what
and
you're
I'm
saying.
I'm saying
You
no.
guys are saying exactly the same thing.
No, because there's a
Thank you.
He hasn't had a chance. Like I believe it's there. Like they're well coached and they're not putting it on yet.
Maybe it's there, but we haven't seen it. Like we just don't know.
This is only comes down to Tim, your closest friend, is a Dolphins fan, and he is excited for the first time in 10 years. You know a bunch of Dolphins fan, they're excited.
No,
the
for
first
me
time.
it's different.
No,
'cause
it's
I'm
not.
in
It's
this
not
race.
any different.
Yeah, I have Herbert though. Not like Tim. Tim's is actually personal. I just want to win a rat race of a class.
And now you're way behind because everyone knows Tua's great. Herbert doesn't
And
inspire.
somehow
me,
his
to be
cards
honest.
are now more valuable than Herbert.
That's
Exactly.
also a lie. And anyone that actually knows what's going on,
I saw the prices.
you don't know what you're looking at.
Oh, don't I? I looked at the prices.
No, I'll be perfectly honest. We'll be fair and balanced. You're not really sure what you're seeing.
I
And
looked- I typed
cares-
it- I typed
and
in
no
one
one
name.
cares about pink mosaics.
I
No one
typed in the
cares
other
about-
one.
Yeah.
See, now you're mad about the cards that
No,
are more
you can only
valuable.
get a pink mosaic at Target. I don't buy that.
Oh, are Jeff too rich, huh?
Well, you don't buy your cards at Target.
No.
He's got a point
Listen,
there.
I'm seeing, and I watch it all. A lot of people, expert opinions, even other players, ex-players. I don't know one person that would tell me yet that outside of Dolphin fans that I'm in the wrong foxhole. That's it. Only Dolphin fans will tell me that, and you.
Exactly.
It sounds like you're Tim just going to people who agree with you.
That's not true at all. I get it.
You're
from
like the
everybody.
people on Twitter who only follow the people who agree with them. Like,
You're
I don't know anyone who disagrees.
No, that's not. There's no. I don't. Not everyone agrees that Herbert is better than Burrow, but everyone agrees that they'd rather have Herbert than Tua, except Dolphin fans.
That's
Just find me.
100%
Just
the
find me
case.
the non-Dolphin fan and the non-Pat Mayo, because I see plays from 1 and 6 that I haven't seen from 5.
Yeah, when you're
through
1 and
3
6, it
games.
doesn't even matter. You're playing like a carnival game. It's not a real game.
The games the Chargers in the first halves, those were real games.
So he's a 1/2 player? Does he have Lyme disease?
No, listen, you could try to play this game of poking holes in Herbert. You just look dumb doing it.
I completely disagree. Completely disagree. When do I ever look dumb? Please, just look at me. I look like a sane person. You guys are the ones having.
No, I
laughing
think
fits.
everyone could be successful. I'm not saying Tua won't be a long-term success. He's saying he's horrible.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I don't know if he's good or bad.
No, you've called
He
him a
hasn't
career
played well.
game manager. I've said he's
He hasn't
managed
played
3
well.
games.
He's been
That's
a
different.
game manager, and people are pretending like he is John Elway reborn. And I'm sorry, we haven't seen that yet. You don't get to do that until he does something remarkable. He has been.
I agree.
unremarkable.
You don't get to make that up. You either
Yes,
see it or
exactly.
you don't, and there's still plenty of time to see it. And I don't even have to see it this year. I'm not in a rush, and I know exactly
It's
what they're doing.
Like if somebody
That
cooks
coach-
you a meal in a new relationship, if someone cooks you a meal and it's mediocre, you say, "This is so delicious, it's amazing." Then you know what? Then when the actual delicious meal gets made, when you say how great it is, you don't have the credibility to say it.
Are you
'cause
saying
already
that
said something was amazing?
in
that
your
wasn't.
relationships, all you do is a lie?
No, you should tell the truth. You should tell the truth that if something is okay, it's okay. When something is truly great, you say it's truly
Okay.
great. We haven't seen the truly great game from Tua yet. We've seen Nothing bad, but nothing good. Just, as Geoff said, just there.
I haven't
marking
seen
time.
I've seen duck butter. I
Yeah,
have
I
not
agree.
seen a play on tape that quantifies putting the two words tank 4 in front of his name yet.
100% agree. 100%.
You don't understand what's going on here, do you? The more this guy talks,
He's gotta shut up! Let me do the talking on this one.
the better Tua is going to be. You know how this works.
Tim, leave this to my fair and balanced analysis. He did nice
Leave it to
things.
Tucker Carlson over
He
here.
did nice things. Some nice rollouts, some nice pocket movement. But there was a handful of duck butter that he won't get away with versus other teams. And the fact that red zone guy and I bet on the game guy, that's nice. Good for you. But
I will give
give me the Dolphins this week.
Okay, so you're taking the Dolphins over the
Yeah,
Broncos.
Broncos are horrible. They're rolling. They'll make a couple plays. All three phases will support each other. Now, I like the Dolphins this week. I will say this. You give me an opportunity. To bet against these guys when they're playing keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. They'll be the 6th seed and they'll play the Chiefs and no one's going to take them anyway.
The Chiefs can get by.
Okay, then the Steelers. It's the Chiefs
I
or the
don't know.
Steelers.
Put
that they're
some
gonna play.
life into this team.
Unless they continue to rise up and kill your guys' Bills bets because Tim keeps cursing the Bills now.
Listen, good.
I hate this Dolphins team.
Hold on.
I hate it. I hate it.
I need to clarify one thing on the way out here. Miami is in a great freaking spot. I mean, I don't give a shit about this year. They could be happy. They could play a wild card game. That's fun. Tua will get to play in important December games. Those are important learning experiences that neither Burrow or Herbert will have. And the first time that those teams do get into a spot to battle for a playoff spot, Tua will already have a few games under his belt of feeling that. That's worth something. The program that's being run there, you cannot deny it. As it pertains to this year, I'm not buying into anything. But the program there, and Tim, you better step off this cliff slowly because they're running a very good program. They're very well coached. They're putting together an organization. They got good pieces. They're playing a quarterback who's going to be on a rookie contract. It's a very blitz-heavy, star corner, Patriot schematic thing that is working and can work there because you can trust this coach, and they're going to go to the podium again next year with that Texans pick and their pick and be able to throw more logs on the fire. So you better be careful, taking your stance about this team and this organization. That is one thing I will not besmirch. I'm not an idiot. I love this league. I watch this league, and that's why I'm excited to go battle the legend, the icon for years to come.
Yeah, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. I know. I've heard all this before. I like Flores, but I think this Dolphins team, this is a perfect spot for Denver. Everybody is giddy and delighted about Miami.
Go,
they
Paul.
fully believe the whole world gets on Miami. This Broncos team is the one that will kill all the teasers and the parlays you watch.
This has got to be a bit.
Give me the Broncos.
This has got to be a bit at this point.
What do you mean a bit? I mean, the Dolphins are not that good.
You can't even be happy your
Broncos-
dad's happy.
We don't even know who's starting at quarterback for the Broncos.
Tim's not
Like,
even
no,
happy
that
for
part,
his
though,
own
that's not
father.
important.
Tim's not even
well,
happy for his
so
own
Tim's-
father.
Tim-
Tim's going to be
game.
Brett Rippon's going to start. He beat the Jets. He's amazing.
What am I supposed to do? You asked me to pick the game, and you don't want my actual opinion. You
Pick
want me to take
Miami.
the Dolphins. But I don't like this Dolphins team. It sucks that their next 3 games are Denver, New York, Cincinnati.
It sucks.
Very annoying that those are the next 3 games. Because they have a chance to win all 3 of those games, and that
Shit,
would be
so what?
gut-wrenching.
So you got to go to the playoffs and keep the Titans out, which would be hilarious in my opinion. to be
In a
perfectly honest.
non-trolling question, does Tua have a chance to win Rookie of the Year?
Probably
I
not.
mean, if
Not
they
with
went,
140.
12
No,
and
not with
4,
the
If they went
140 a
12
game.
and 4,
Not like
I mean,
the
they went
189 a game.
But what if he just ends up going like 8-1 or something?
Doesn't, not with defensive touchdowns and special teams touchdowns supplementing, throwing 180 yards.
I looked up some of the voters. You know who one of the voters on these awards is?
Dan Lebatard?
Troy Aikman. He'd vote for Tua.
No, those guys, no.
True. Aikman will vote for Garrett Gilbert.
That's true. He'll vote for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, probably.
That was the most uncomfortable Herbert's looked all year. Credit to Flores. Credit to the Dolphins. I mean, my coaching staff is so goddamn pathetic. They can't make an easy fucking schematic play for fucking Keenan Allen to get the kid rolling.
Well, let's get to them. Because I laid you out my scenario. Jets at Chargers. You guys are going head to head here.
Doesn't mean anything.
Soft Sam's
Doesn't
not
mean
playing.
anything.
Sam's not playing. Actually giving Flacco. Someone pointed this out. Flacco gives them a better chance to win than Darnold because he's better than Darnold.
And he's beaten the Chargers. His last win, I think, was against the Chargers.
And also, if Flacco starts winning games for the Jets, it takes them out of Lawrence, and thus Sam keeps his job for the Jets next year.
I'm actually torn because I'm kind of at the point where I wouldn't mind losing the game.
Good, because I want the win. I want one. I
But
can't go out with
I don't think
I'm
it's-
running out of opportunities.
I don't think it's possible, though, for us to lose this game, to be perfectly honest.
Oh,
Come
really?
on.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like Jets money line here.
Bet it.
I am probably going.
don't.
What is the Jets money line? 350?
Let me take a look.
If
here, 'cause I'm
Bosa
teasing-
plays,
It's
I'm teasing
330.
the Chargers
Plus
down
330.
because the
Plus
Chargers.
330.
if Bosa plays, Joe Flacco might die.
No, they get Becky back. He pushes trucks. He can't push Bosa?
Other side.
Becton is as good as you can throw at
Other
a
side.
Fair enough. They would
He
be smart
can
to go around
handle
the other side.
zero sack Melvin Ingram.
Yeah,
He has
well, I mean,
zero
Becton
sacks.
pushed
He
a
missed some
car.
games, and he's got these short little T-Rex arms. They miss his quarterbacks.
Becton pushed a car up the hill while it was going in reverse. So, like, I'm sorry.
The myth of this car push just continues to get even better.
Do you know what I'm mad about last Sunday? I lost a
Tease
pair of
the Chargers
I
down.
lost
We're
a
gonna
pair of
we're gonna play
goddamn
them.
shoes.
How?
I bet me and my buddy, Dolphin Division, I bet him a pair of shoes for my collection.
You have a
They're the ones
you're
that
one of those
light up when
sneaker
you walk.
guys?
Don't worry about
You have
me.
a sneaker collection?
Are they
Don't-
LA gear
Oh
that
my
light up when
God.
you walk?
Don't worry about me.
If we weren't friends, I would hate you so much.
I don't want to do this.
How many pairs of sneakers do you own?
Not enough because I don't go out anymore.
Give me a ballpark figure. 20?
No.
50?
Are you like a Melda Marcos? Do you have like 5,000 pairs of shoes at your house?
Do you own like nice shoes?
Define nice. Yeah, I got nice shoes also.
Okay. I know some people who own a bunch of sneakers, but they have no like Italian
No, like if I was
leather
going
shoes.
to like a nice event, I wouldn't wear my all black like Jordans.
Oh, see, this
No, if
person
you went to a
does.
white tie event, I'm sure you've got some shoes to go with.
Like I have, yeah, don't worry about yeah, no, I don't think we can I don't know. We score our points per game is pretty good. This is the problem. This is where we'd lose the game. So do math. I got some elementary math here. Our special teams on the field 25 snaps Sunday, 6 fuck ups. What's the math on that? What's the percentage?
25 special team snaps?
Yeah,
Basically,
and 6.
Yeah, basically 1 and 4.
1 and 4. So 20%? We just say?
Yeah, 20. I think it's like
If
20.
20% of fucking airplanes crashed, we wouldn't ride them anymore. We'd stop.
So what you're saying is get rid of special teams?
We got Pat. I
Ban
don't
it?
even know. Like I can't stand Lynn. Lynn's got to go.
He's your guy.
But there are no. He's lost me because we're developing these characteristics. Like we are becoming just what it is.
Yeah,
like
you-
it's no
was that
longer an
Lynn-
outlier.
Was Lynn your cryptic tweet this week?
It's
that
no
if I don't like
longer.
you, I
It's
can't
no
stand your face?
longer. It's
Is that,
no
was it that
longer.
about Lynn?
It's no longer an outlier. Like we're just
That answers
becoming
my
this.
question.
And guess what, Anthony? Guess who you can't blame anymore? You can't blame Daddy because Philip's gone. It's not his fault. It always felt like Lynn would go to the podium and blame the interceptions. That's why we're losing 1-score games. Because 17's turning the ball over. Nuh-uh.
Well, that was true.
But he's gone and we're still losing them. But maybe in uglier, more painful fashion. Sunday's game was the only game that wasn't entertaining this year. It was just frustrating because, again, I think even the Dolphins made one play. The block punt, we fumbled the snap. We made 3 horrific plays. They made 1 horrific play. That was the tally. But Brian Flores was just a big brother. Like, keep away. Like, here's the ball. Like, I know exactly what's happening today. As a lot of people kind of expected the game to go.
Well, the big difference is it seemed like Flores had a plan. Like, it's like he watched the Chargers on tape, like, oh, I know what we can do here to slow them down.
A plan?
And Anthony Lynn was like having a beat in the corner or something, taking his heart medication.
What? A plan. We're dropping. I guess he's literally applying duck butter to the footballs he's throwing because we can't catch them.
You don't think that Miami had a good defensive game plan against the Chargers?
Yeah, I already told you that was the worst Herbert looked all year, and he still 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. They confused him, especially in the first half.
His QBR was 22.9 points lower than Tua's.
Yeah, but Tua doesn't have to.
They're playing with like a full.
Anymore,
they're playing with
every other touch,
buddy. They're playing with a full deck over there. Like, I'll take these guys' heads off when I get my deck, when I get my pieces. So I'm not worried about that. All these teams, speak to a Chief fan. You think I'm making this shit up? You think I make this shit up? Mm-hmm. You think a Chief fan, like, going into next year is afraid of a Raider or a Bronco team?
They're afraid of nobody.
No, you're right. I agree. They're so far ahead and beyond. But I'm telling you, if there's one of these teams, like, the Chiefs are the only team in the American Football Conference that, like, scare me. Every other team, when we get that deck full and we fire Freddie Kitchens, we'll be fine. Like, we go offsides on field goals to get first down.
Yeah, the Chargers are the anti-Tuas. Tua's a winner. The Chargers are just losers.
Yeah, we'll get rid of it. Don't
yeah, you're going to get rid of it. What's going to happen, Tim, as I pointed out to you, the Jets win this game. Anthony Lynn gets fired. Gase gets fired at the end of the year. Gase becomes the new Chargers head coach.
What could go wrong?
And then the Jets will hire to some loser too. So that'll be fine.
I said the rumors are Jim Harbaugh, who I don't want. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
You shouldn't want them.
I shouldn't have said that because that's definitely anyway. Whatever.
You could have had Matt Rule, who rules.
Yeah,
hungry.
Nothing to do with that guy.
Not lazy cashing
what are
checks.
they? What are they? 3-6 this year? Yeah, he's really.
I don't think Harbaugh would be hungry. I want someone who's hungry. I would need someone who's hungry.
I like the Jets to cover the 8.5 here, Tim.
I don't. I got no particular faith in them.
I saw you release a corner that started every game.
Yeah, that shows you what you talk about teams that are playing with a full deck. We just have the rules for draw and stud poker and then a joker. And that's what we're playing with. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I hope we win. I want that one win very badly. I'm teasing the Chargers down and I'm picking the Chargers to win. The Chargers, no, I'm not going to make them my suicide pick. No, I'm not going to. So I'll pick somebody else.
Oh no, we're gonna train wreck these guys.
Yeah, you said this last week. You said that last week.
Yeah, Bosa.
And I backed you, and I was wrong. So
you're taking the Chargers, I'm guessing. Tim, you're.
Oh, hold on. Do you know the Chargers have beaten this year? Combined wins of our 2 wins of the opponent's wins.
I'm trying to think of who they beat.
Oh, we beat the goddamn Bengals and the Jaguars. So what's that? 3?
3.
And when we beat the Jets this week, it'll stay at 3.5.
The Bengals have a tie.
Where do I have it here? The Jets have lost the week following their bye 4 straight seasons. But no, I read this.
And sometimes the bye before the bye too.
Yeah, that is true when you super lock them in against Tampa Bay in a game that how could they ever lose?
That's because I got bullied into that.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have said. Maybe you shouldn't have called it a bye week.
Bullied me into that.
Maybe you shouldn't have called it a bye week.
I lost a lot of money on the weekend, and I still ordered a mid-level. I finally was able to get a Herbert piece, not a card, a powder blue vapor limited jersey.
Oh, jersey.
Yeah.
Where are you going to wear this jersey?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, you talked about the parent with the kid on a leash earlier. Now you're just going to be Geoff Fienberg, 34-year-old man walking about town in a Chargers jersey.
I haven't bought a Chargers jersey since Gase. And this year I bought a white Derwin.
You bought an Adam Gase Chargers jersey to get ready for next year?
Gates. This would have been whatever year Ryan Tannehill was a rookie.
Oh, 12. Oh, sorry. I guess that would have been 12.
Yeah. So I was a lot. And then this year I bought a white Derwin, and then he got hurt like 4 days later. And I finally was able to get the Herbert that I wanted because I didn't want the lowest end one.
Oh no.
Trying to think about what the most Anderhurst way this game can go down. Because Tim's not picking the Jets for like the first time in ages. He really wants them to win. But I could see like Herbert getting hurt, celebrating too many touchdowns or something. That'd be a very Tim cursed way.
Do you want to add?
What if we win 16-15 with all field goals? And
Can we
carry our kicker
can we add? Last week we made a bet for $200.
Mm-hmm.
Can we add $100 to it, but give me a 4.5?
Didn't I already lose those bets? Weren't those golf bets that we made?
Yeah, but we bet the Chargers to 5 wins last week on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For 200. Can we add another 100 to it, but make it 4.5?
No. You can pay me 100 to make it 4.5.
No, there's now one less game that they've lost. I'm asking for like a new line.
No, I'm very comfortable with my 5.
Okay. I guarantee we're going to push.
Guarantee it?
Yeah.
Then, no, I guess it wouldn't be a win for you. I was going to say, why don't you just double your bet on the 5?
No, that's pointless.
It's going to be tough sledding when they lose this game to the Jets.
If they lose this game to the Jets, it will get tough sledding.
Does that make you feel like, you said you want to lose at this point. Does it make you feel bad if the Chargers lose to the Jets?
This game might not be early enough because I need the embarrassment. I don't think they'll. This is a very uncomfortable conversation. But it's 2020 and there's not a chance in the world they would fire Lynn before the season's over. Even the special teams coach is like Lynn's best friend, Pat. His name is George Stewart. I don't know how to put this, but he's kind of like the father figure on the team.
Oh my God.
He's like I need to say this respectfully. Because the climate the world is in, like he's important to the team right now. So everything's going to be handled with kid gloves there. And that's why the most deserving special teams coach to be fired, sent to the sun on the planet, is probably still working today and tomorrow and next month.
I'm just saying for your mental psyche, like Chargers losing to the Jets is beyond blowing a lead against the Bucks.
Oh, that would be real bad. That would be, okay.
Like, this is the worst team in football.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would make me, even though like I make all these arguments that we don't have our deck, and when we have our deck, I can compete with you. This would make me very concerned that no, we really are so, like you might be like Chiefs, like Fienberg's just overrating his like favorite team.
Yes.
You lose to the Jets, you got to reevaluate like those mediocre pieces that you think are like supplemental who are being put in positions.
On the other hand,
any sense.
On the other hand, your second favorite team will have won. And so how crushed can you
The
really
Jets
be
are
about
my
that?
32nd favorite team because the Chargers do take up 1 to 32.
I thought the Colts were now.
Oh,
No, they're just
now I have
they're
the
just a
Colts.
1:00 team to cheer for this year.
But they're playing at 4:00 this week because they're playing the Packers. And they're favored by 3 points.
I thought it should
51
be higher.
is the over. You think they should be favored by more than 3 points over the. This is such a Aaron Rodgers goes and smashes the Colts game.
I don't know about that.
Green Bay by a lot.
Watch the hold on. Oh yeah, we just gave the ball to Balaj again, Tim.
Again,
I'm coached by a running back who's
why
from
are you
a Bill
giving him the ball when
Parcells-
you have Josh Kelly?
Because my coach learned the stupid game from Bill Parcells and Rex Ryan. He doesn't know how to do anything.
Well, that makes me feel better that into next year Kelly could be a real diamond in the rough.
Imagine taking Bieniemy from the Chiefs and like stealing all their assistants with him.
I kind of hope that will happen in New York.
No, you want Harbaugh. You want to overpay.
No, I don't.
You want to
we have first overall
overpay.
pick.
Listen, I would take Harbaugh. Tim wants Jim Caldwell, who may or may not
I
be
would
dead.
I would love
you know
Jim
what?
Caldwell too.
I'm torn on Harbaugh. Part of me thinks he would just be
3
cashing
years.
checks.
3 years.
But
Yeah.
I do agree he's a pro football coach. He's not a recruiter, all this bullshit. He is a pro football coach. And the fact that he wanted to fight Jim Schwartz, I could foxhole with him for 3 seasons.
After that, just, he gets tuned out. But for 3 years.
He's just a crazy person.
Yeah. So
But he also might be the most overrated coach in modern football.
He did get to a Super Bowl, but yes, I kind of agree.
I mean, those Niners teams were good
I know.
until they weren't. And they were good with Alex Smith, and they were good with Kaepernick. The Packers are 10-4 against the spread in their past 14.
I like the Dolphins.
That's a
The
10-4, good
Dolphins
buddy.
are not playing in this game.
I
so-
know, but I'm not anti the Dolphins like people want to make me out to be.
You
Where
see-
is this? What a random comment to make.
I'm not.
We're talking.
I'm not.
Tim, would you agree that Geoff does seem rather anti-Dolphins?
No, the program is perfect
Yes.
there. The program is elite.
No,
I don't
because
wish I
it's
had the
Dolphins.
roster, but
Dolphins
I
never
wish
had
I-
an elite program.
I
like
don't-
their coach.
I
but
wish I didn't have their roster, but I wish I had their program with my roster. That's what I wish I had. Okay, sorry.
Indy's favored by 3 at home.
This is square play of the week.
What? Taking Indy?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I feel like
The Packers are such a sucker
92%
bet.
Packer bets this
Yeah,
week.
sucker
No.
bet.
No.
don't
Absolutely
think
The
so?
not.
world is on Green Bay.
No.
We get to take
Okay,
Indianapolis.
you've now said like 3 separate times the world is on, and we've pointed out the handle was massively on the other side of it.
Really? So
if-
you think the
so if-
handle's going to be in Indianapolis?
I
Yeah,
need it for this one.
I think that people watch Indianapolis on Thursday night to beat the Titans. Oh, the Packers could barely beat the Jags?
No.
Come on.
I'll
I'm
bet-
dubious.
I
That's
want to
how-
bet you on the handle.
I just think Green Bay is going to eat. Like, Green Bay is a 3-point dog in this game. They are significantly better than the Colts.
And they are going to get bet at maybe one of the biggest Sunday afternoon handles of the NFL season. That is my prediction.
Okay. Then don't take Green Bay. Take Indianapolis and lose your money.
No. I want to say, I think I should bet. How do I put this? I'd lean Green Bay, but the handle and the situation makes it unbettable.
If
Give me the Colts.
the handle means nothing unless the spread goes up.
Give me the Colts.
Okay.
I mean, the Colts are the better team by the numbers, not Green Bay. So give me the Colts.
I mean, one team had a bye. Oh, no. They had the
Thursday.
extra rest.
One team is Aaron Rodgers and the other team is fucking Phillip Rivers. Come on now.
What happened when they played last year? It was like the Chargers' best game of the season.
I can assure you, I do not remember a
It's like
Chargers-Packers game from last year.
Yes, it was a beat. It was a beatdown.
Was it a beatdown?
It was.
What was the score?
I don't remember, but I remember a beatdown.
Was it a Rivers beatdown or did the defense beat down Rodgers?
It was a beatdown. The Colts
it had
do
nothing
good
to do with
defense too.
Rivers.
I'm saying last time they played. Anyway, I'm not going to 80% public on any NFL game ever, and that's where this one will be.
But this will just go down to a pick 'em then. It won't say 3.
Or the books are taking an opinion on the game and they just don't move it.
Yeah, put it this way: if 80% of the money comes in on one side, it's gonna drop Tim. I forgot. I
Oftentimes
forgot
does, but
Tim.
not always.
You know what? I forgot Tim's a bookmaker. He knows about
but
this.
there are times where all the handle comes in on one side and they don't move it because they just take a stance. That does happen on occasion.
It very, 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 very rarely happens.
Given that the numbers say the Colts should be favored by 3 to 3.5, and anyway, I'm going with the Colts. I think it's. I think it's you want to be Huey Lewis and be hip to be square and take the Packers. Go ahead. I think the Colts will play.
Would you like to bet real money on this game?
We can talk about it afterwards.
No, let's talk about it right now. How much you want to
No,
bet?
we can talk about it afterwards.
No, let's talk about
move
it
on.
right now.
What is your record versus Pat?
I don't know.
Because I think mine versus Pat is like
Good.
probably like 49, 51%, like somewhere in there. I think you pull like an 8%.
Well, that would be a good winning percentage compared to some of the other bets I make.
Well, you owe me this Bryson money, and you owe me the one and done money.
Yeah, although I really hope that I lost by enough that the Adam Long shenanigans didn't cost me.
It didn't.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
And thank you for charging Corey Connors, by the way.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, I like Corey Connors. I shouldn't say that because I would like to see the Canadian do well. Although I was far more happy to see Mike Weir make the cut than Corey Connors, to be frank. Yeah, who knew he was going to shoot 7 under par? I thought, by the way, he was playing a hole or two previous. I was just going to gas can it out of there. But I was wrong. Wrong all the time. Sure won't be the last time I'm wrong.
So you don't actually want to bet on this game.
I like this game, but it's not the game I'm most confident in.
Okay.
Mhm.
You can be down like $1,000 to me here by next week.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to find another embarrassing photo of me and send it to you.
Excellent.
It's going to be an expensive month when he gets his McDonald's bill and owes you a G.
I know.
Like, Bill, what do you think they have a tab?
I'm sure
This is
with
Cheers and I'm Norm.
Oh. You know how you can get specialty credit cards to things? Like we used to work with the guy who had like the movie credit card because he's an adult. They're like, get free popcorn sometimes, once every 5 trips. Okay. Tim should get his McDonald's card. You think about the rewards you would get from McDonald's. You can actually cash those back in.
Don't you have to
pretty
cash
quickly.
in all your like winning free food items?
Yeah, by December 2nd, I believe.
So that's how many more times you going to McDonald's?
Well, December 2nd's a long way away, son.
It's 2 weeks.
It's actually
2.5 weeks.
But
Yeah, but
I'm expecting you have a stack of like winning cheeseburgers and McFlurries and
he's
muffins.
not even using them because he's buying 2 for $5 Egg McMuffins.
Well, I let a bunch expire last year because I was like, I don't care about this.
Tim too rich.
Give them to a homeless person.
I guess if I had them on me, but like, whatever.
The answer
If I had them on me, sure. If I had them on with me and I saw a homeless person, yes.
Are you
would
saying that there's
happily
no
give
way that you could potentially put them in
Hold
your
on.
car?
Tim Scott, like he needs to go out of his way to eat an extra McMuffin, which subsequently costs a little
it's
bit
not
more
going out
money.
of my way.
Okay, fine.
Just
You pay more money to eat an extra McMuffin that you wouldn't normally get anyway, because I'm assuming you only would get one, and that's mad value.
okay.
But
Here, I'm
these
going to tell an
tickets
embarrassing story.
These
And let's just
tickets
end
of
it.
free coupons, of freebies, represent no value.
Yesterday,
Yes.
I went to the gym and I got 2 McMuffins on the way home afterwards. And I felt terrible about myself. But I also felt good about myself for being economical. But I felt terrible about it's right next to the gym. And I saw the sign. I was like, well, you just had a good workout. And the egg is not bad for you. And the English muffin is fine. The cheese has dairy. Screw it. And then I was like, what are you justifying? You're like, you only come around this way once. It's 2020. Go for it and have your. And I ate. I was like, what did I do that for? Like, how many of these have I had in the last like year? Did I really need this? Anyway, there. Let's like that be the period on the story of the. I even like had to. I didn't want the people seeing me like leave the gym and going to the McDonald's, so I did a loop around the parking lot. No, I'm not telling the story anymore. Let's move on. I'm not telling any more of this story.
Please.
Keep going.
I'm done. I'm done.
going.
I'm done. I was just trying to tell it so that we would end this whole like saga of the McDonald's.
No, you were
and I hope
looping
we
the
have.
parking lot to avoid someone seeing you.
Yes, I didn't want someone seeing me pull out of the gym parking lot and like drive directly to the drive-through. I
know these
I thought if
people?
I did a loop, no one would notice. How vain and stupid am I? Okay,
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do.
I don't know.
I think this is what you're describing, especially with having a fast food place right next to the gym, is not uncommon.
Did you eat 4 McMuffins yesterday?
No, I did not. I just had the 2. I even went to the gym, was real proud of myself. I didn't have any McMuffins, and I left, and I was like, man, well, now I've been to the gym, and I guess I could. And how long is this 2 for $5 really going to be on? And like, it says limited time only, and I know it won't be like this forever. I know, I'm a fool. Let's just let this be the capstone on this saga, and let's move forward.
You see, the move would have been to have the 2 McMuffins like an hour and a half before you went to the gym.
No, I don't like eating before I go to the gym. I find I work out better. Same as when I play golf or do something. I find much better on an empty stomach. That's just how I feel.
Can I ask you a
McMuffin question.
McMuffin
Don't get the ham. He's
question?
never had it, but it's terrible.
Do
It
you?
is terrible.
I saw someone actually do this the last time. I've never done it myself, but he asked them to like double toast his English muffin
I have never heard of that, but I can totally see it.
because they
Because
give
I mean,
it to
they
you
will take specialty orders.
because they give it to you pretty flimsy.
It depends on the spot. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's not 100% consistent. It's one of those things that I guess if the McDonald's you go to a lot, every McDonald's has its own quirks and charms and habits. If that's one of the things that they do, yes, I could see that. But it also ensures that you're going to get it nice and toasted, like our friend who always gets fresh fries every time he goes.
I'm pretty sure that they spit in his fries every time. He goes to
Well, I
McDonald's.
can't speak to that.
Just like, yeah, we have fries. Like, can you give me fresh fries? They're like, sir, it's 1:00 in the morning. We just put some on like 5 minutes ago. They're pretty fresh. No, I need them fresh right now, and I will wait. Like, that guy's getting his food spitted, isn't he? I would guess.
I don't know.
I would spit in it. I guess I don't work at McDonald, so I don't know, but that would be a spitting situation for myself. The three of you guys, you two in the coin are taking Indy?
Yeah.
Okay. Game of the week, Dallas at Minnesota. Tim, Kirk Cousins won on Monday night.
All things are possible. This is a strange new world. They won by 6. They should have won by a ton more than that. Another Monday night game, 2 in the last month or so. We've had Chicago on Monday night, and they just can do nothing. And I'm just sitting there having picked Chicago going, well, what am I, a moron?
Well, they
this?
beat the Bucks on Monday night, didn't they?
No.
Thursday
They
night?
beat the Bucks on a Thursday night. They couldn't score against the Rams, and they couldn't score against the Vikings. It was quite sad. Anyway, I'll make this brief. Tease the Vikings down. Vikings are my survivor pick this week.
Is there any chance Dallas has fixed any of their problems coming out of this bye week? Andy Dalton's going to be back.
No,
I don't know that fixes anything.
I don't think so.
Who you texting?
No, I'm actually want to bring up I'm just curious on if Tua's completed a pass over 20 yards.
See, this is how
Oh, yeah.
triggered
See,
you are.
I'm the one obsessed with Tua, right?
You're really
I'm the
obsessed about
one.
this.
I'm the obsessed one.
I'm
He's
just
awful.
curious what's being.
You're
you
like that
kidding
guy
me? Are
in
you
high.
kidding me?
You're like the guy in high school who's like, everyone. I think that I should be the most popular person, but this guy over here is the most popular person, but he's the worst. It should be me. This is how you're starting to feel.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
trying
those
to
are the people that don't get invited to the alcohol parties because they're losers.
Alcohol.
I don't know how to do these deep dives.
I am going to take Dallas plus 7.5 points. Right? I got to feel like they figured something out. Minnesota can still make the playoffs, which is kind of
Are you
crazy.
just picking against me in every game? Because it feels like it.
I usually pick first, so that would make it seem like you're picking against me in every game. I like Minnesota. Maybe Dalvin Cook just goes bananas on them, but I think that Dallas can, like, Minnesota's defense sucks. Dallas should be able to move the ball. They have too many playmakers to score like 13 points in this game. They got to score like 20 something.
Dallas will have a nice first quarter on some scripted plays. Then they'll be shit. Give me Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, another explosion game.
And I will say, through the law of averages, Dallas has to start covering some of these games. They're not going to go 1-15 against the spread.
I could see that. I could see it, which is why I like the tease, and I certainly like them when this is an opportunity to use Minnesota. And it's a tough week for Survivor. There are no like slam dunk picks because Pittsburgh's probably already gone. So you're sort of staring down the barrel of the Chargers or the Vikes, really.
Well, you said Atlanta's going to win. You can just pick them.
Yeah, I'm not picking an underdog ever until maybe like week 17 if I'm desperate. That's not how you get to week 17.
Well, in a rematch of the game that knocked me out of Survivor, this time the Chiefs are in Las Vegas. 6.5 is the spread. The Raiders are underdogs, of course. 56.5 is the over-under in this game. People kind of down-talking the Raiders here. There's one thing you were right about, Tim. The Raiders are actually good. They're like the good version of the Browns.
I actually think that's a very, very good way to put it. They're a good version of the Browns.
Which means they're not great by any means, but I would like them in the spot more, weirdly, if they hadn't beat Kansas City already.
Yeah, it doesn't seem possible that they could possibly beat the Chiefs twice in one season, right?
I mean, it's possible. It just seems very unlikely to me. But they don't need to win to cover the spread at the same time. Like a 6.5 point home dog in division. It's a lot of points.
It's a ton of points, but isn't Andy Reid like the maestro of coming off buys? Like, isn't that? I mean, we say it's a narrative, but I mean, it's a fact too. So, yeah, we're teasing the Chiefs down, and we'll play the Chiefs. I usually wouldn't do that. I usually wouldn't do that
Teasing the
here.
Chiefs through 0. Oh, Tim.
Yeah, well, it was at 7 at one point earlier, I thought. Anyway, either which way.
Jeff's
Teasing the
not
Chiefs
listening to
down
you.
here.
He's trying to figure out how to use Pro Football Reference.
No,
Yeah, well, he's trying to figure out.
I figured something out. Now I'm just looking for a comparable. I've heard what Tim's been saying, and I do agree. Raiders, credit. Yeah, Tim. I guess right. Tim has been on them for a couple years, so that blind squirrel found its nut. I like how they play. They can control the game on both lines. It seems like, and they can put pressure on quarterbacks too. It's not just the O line, and their O line's been injured. They're still
Trent Brown's still out because I think the Chargers medical staff for 1 week got rented out to Las Vegas and like took out 3 people.
You're feeling a close game here, eh?
Yeah, it feels like a game that Vegas blows late. Like they'll be winning, they'll have some good vibes, and Mahomes goes doo, and they lose by like
It's
5.
like, okay. Mahomes not going to throw 5 touchdowns, though, is he?
He might.
That'll hurt me.
Are you playing him in fantasy?
Yeah.
Tim had, in the deal that I tried to say was collusion, Tim traded away Patrick Mahomes to someone who he could have kept for 2 more years in the 8th round. He decided to get rid
I
of
got a first round pick and I got Burrow for him, so I felt good. about it.
Burrow's like barely a top 10 fantasy quarterback, if that. And Mahomes was the same keeper price.
Yeah, but if I'm trying to win next year,
You got
I would
rid of your
rather
best.
have
You
that
got
first
rid of
over-
your best player.
I'd rather have that extra first round pick to take a run at a running back or receiver than a quarterback that I can get 85% of the value somewhere else. It's just I'm playing the percentage.
But you would not be able to get 85% of Mahomes' value because you can keep him in the 8th round. It's not like he
Right.
cost you a 2nd round pick or a first.
But I
round
can
pick.
get a quarterback who will put up 85% of those stats somewhere else, which is much harder to do at the running back position. That's my thought process on it. That's why the way I'm going to play it.
Mahomes
what
is
may.
averaging more fantasy points per game this year than he did 2 years ago.
I appreciate that.
So trying to mine even 80% of what Mahomes is actually putting up is going to be pretty tough.
But it's easier still than trying to get that of a starting running back.
Maybe, but you don't know if you're going to have the first pick. And what if you take Barkley or Elliott from this year?
Well, can it really happen to me twice in a row that the first pick in the draft I have goes out for the season in the second game? Can that really happen to me twice? I don't.
Yeah, it can. I mean, I don't disagree with Tim, but they call it running back roulette for a reason.
Well, it's really strange. Like if you look at the top of the fantasy drafts this year, like Kamara is by far the best pick. McCaffrey, Barkley, Zeke were 1, 2, 3. If you had one of the first 3 picks, your team probably sucks.
And I'm in a home league where someone liked quarterback, so I got Dalvin Cook.
Someone take
I took Derrick
quarterbacks?
Henry early. I feel good about that.
Yeah, Derrick
compared to
Henry.
what I could have taken.
Absolutely. But Derrick Henry's weird. Like he'll have
Quarterback.
Derrick Henry will have 40-point games and 3-point games. Well, not 3-point games, but where he doesn't catch passes, it makes his floor so much worse. That's why people don't like. Someone took a quarterback in the first round of your league?
Yeah.
What kind of league is this?
And he argues that it was like the right thing.
Did he take Lamar or Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Well, at least he took Mahomes. It would have been bad news if he'd taken Lamar, who's been not good this year. Are you taking Vegas with me?
Yeah.
Tim, are you taking Vegas?
No,
think
I'm going
we-
to play the Chiefs.
You don't think though Sunday night though you get that full 7?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You want to talk about like lopsided games of the week. This is going to be it. Everyone who loses money bets on the Chiefs game. Just like it was with the Saints earlier this year in that Monday night game. Yes, Paul.
Drew Lock has bad muscle strains week to week. Sounds like he's probably going to be out if TC wanted to flip his pick.
He can't flip his pick. Tim already picked him. Cursed Drew Lock.
Who's
into
the
being
backup
out.
there?
Cal Ripken. And Tim already said that Cal Ripken, good enough to beat Tua. Your words, Tim.
I don't think I said any of those words, but I kind of took the Broncos going in thinking that Locke may or may not play. It's just a spot game. It's just a spot where everyone loves Miami and they wake up Monday morning thinking, gee, I guess the Dolphins are just a bad team that I thought they were at the start of the year. I mean, weren't they supposed to be this year, Geoff, what they were going to be last year?
Yeah, but I'm wrong a lot.
No, but didn't we argue on the win total show that one of the best bets would be Miami to win that division? And then Tim was like, no, the Jets are 16-0. And then we both said the Jets are going to be one of the worst teams in football. And Tim said, you don't know what you're talking about.
Have them winning the division. I can't have that. It cannot be. I will be putting all my energies into being sure this doesn't happen.
I thought you had no control over this stuff.
I don't, but I'm going to be cheering my heart out for them not to win the
Can
division.
I ask
I can't.
a question?
How badly is your dad making fun of you these days?
He is having a lot of fun these days.
Does he love
He's having
Tua?
a lot of fun.
Paul, you've been
Yes.
quiet.
Yeah.
As someone whose, emotional well-being, I guess, is on the line in many ways here. What is your assessment of Miami quarterback 1?
I haven't watched too closely, to be honest.
Like,
You
as a
didn't miss
Bills,
any-
as
you
a
di-
Bills
you didn't
fan,
miss any-
as
you
a
didn't miss
Bills
anything,
fan,
I'll
are
tell
you
that.
like
You
shaking?
missed nothing. Missed
No-
nothing.
Not really.
Are you shaking more?
I
than-
also.
But you're more worried that Tim
Watching the
is
Bills
like,
versus Kyler Murray this past weekend. I feel like Kyler has no business being in the MVP conversation.
okay, that's fair. I guess
Like,
you're not.
He's kind of dinking and dunking, and I from what I've seen from Tua, it's same thing. It's
But your
small
biggest
little-
concern
small
is-
little passes They're not like taking off the training wheels.
But your biggest concern is probably Tim is turning him into Thanos with every word.
And now he's I mean, Tim has picked three of the 4 teams in the AFC East to win, except for the Miami Dolphins at this point. And they're the team that's hasn't lost. They're on a 4
And I wouldn't turn him into Thanos. I cheer for
game
Thanos.
winning streak. Like, it's all happening. And I've got far too much money on this Bills to win division. Probably.
What if Thanos
Cash it.
What if you cheer for Thanos?
Why?
What
I
if
should've cashed
Thanos
it last week?
What if Thanos didn't get rid of the people? He just got rid of sick deals at McDonald's. Would you still like him?
I really don't think there's any good guys in the world of the Avengers, but I think Thanos gets a bad rap.
Even Spiderman?
I don't think there's any good guys in that world. That's my view. I think they're all morally neutral or corrupted in some way, shape, or form. Perhaps.
Monday night, Rams at Bucks, -3.5. 48 is the over-under. Can the Bucks bring as much pressure as the Rams are going to bring onto Brady? Because Brady has been abysmal under pressure so far this year. And you know Donald's going to be in the backfield. The issue is Goff is even worse under pressure. So if the Bucks can get, and Whitworth's out for the season now?
Probably.
If they can block at all, the Rams are going to win this game. If they can't, they might lose by 400. Because Goff will just throw the Bucks 5 touchdowns.
I'll admit I was wrong about the Rams if they want to pape smear the Bucks. Because I can lose a bet. Like, I'm happy to lose a bet on a Ram win total to not have the Bucks make my 4 months of words look like the dumbest shit ever. I like the Rams here. I think even if the Bucks move the ball, they'll be settling for suck up. I like the Rams here.
I just worry that the Tampa defense is better than the Rams defense. That would be my biggest concern in this game. And that just, Goff is terrible. Really bad. Unless he has 100% of the time to make decisions.
I don't think Anthony Lynn could name the 11 starters on the Dolphins.
Yes, I was going to say, you always talk about how it's not impressive when Sean McVay can name people.
I'm pretty sure right now, if I swear to you, if I could get into that Zoom presser, I'd be like, so name me the Dolphins starting backfield or secondary. I don't think he could do it. Anyhow, I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking Tampa.
Okay, good. We have to have a couple different games.
Now I took Dallas and you took Minnesota,
And I
Green
got the
Bay.
Jets
We differed in
and the
the
Chargers,
afternoon
Jets.
slate here. This is just a pure defensive play. I think that this game feels like an under to me. It's going to be difficult to run the ball on both sides. I don't think Tampa Bay's offensive line is very good, which is a real problem. Brady's going to make a few mistakes here when Aaron Donald gets in his face.
What's the total?
The total's 48.
You hate picking unders on Monday night.
Yeah, it
though.
sucks.
Just just go to bed if you're going to bet an under. Don't watch it. I do agree with you, though.
It feels lower scoring. Antonio Brown is officially questionable for this game after he threw his bike at someone.
Yeah, the homeowner doesn't he have a homeowners association issue. We've all been there. Most people have been there battling with their homeowners association. I think that's what this incident's about.
I feel like Principal Skinner here, and that I want to just cheer for both teams to have a good time. I like both these teams, and I hate that one of them are going to lose.
Maybe they'll tie.
Maybe they. Well, then in that case, you really should take the Rams. Buccaneers slightly. I don't know. Don't have a big feel for the game. I know Tampa's been terrible on primetime, but that can't continue, right? Maybe it can. I don't know. Big win for the Rams coming off of going to Seattle and really taking care of business. Tampa's got a door open now to win that division with, even though they lost twice to New Orleans, and that's a big 8-ball to get behind. Drew Brees is out. So the doors are open for Tampa.
Better quarterbacks playing in New Orleans.
Well, that's debatable, isn't it? Maybe
Sean
maybe
Payton
it is, maybe it isn't.
gets to go to the whiteboard and design a pass that can beat 20 air yards this
But
week.
he's also going to throw 4 interceptions a game or throw 4 passes
Not
that
against
could
Atlanta.
be intercepted a game. Against everybody all the time. That's who he is. He makes great plays.
He's not playing
He
the
makes bonehead
Chargers.
plays. He does it. He threw 30 interceptions last year. That's his nature. That's his character. We'll see. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it does not. I'll take Tampa here. Just a total hunch without any particular feeling about it. They are the better team, and at home, so I guess they should prevail.
Is this an NFC Championship preview for you, Tim?
It could be. It wasn't my NFC title game prediction. I think I had Philadelphia in the NFC title game.
Still live?
Yeah, still. It could happen.
Or it could happen. When the AFC, I had the Texans with the Chiefs. So, my
Do you
Super
remember
Bowl's
what
still
yours
alive,
was?
At least
I had
Chiefs versus Ravens to be chalky.
I believe I had Steelers.
Falcons, Eagles. No,
I had Steelers, Chiefs over Steelers, the
Good call.
AFC, and New Orleans over Seattle, I think, in the NFC.
my NFC is
those are both
embarrassing.
alive.
My NFC, I think, is Eagles, Vikings.
Oh boy, both those teams might make the playoffs.
But Chiefs Buccaneers for the Super Bowl is still live for me.
I'll go to a movie.
Will
No,
you?
you won't. You literally won't. You literally can't.
Yeah, because they'll be closed where I live.
Yeah, so you won't go to a movie.
You have to swap
You'll
with
have
Tim.
to watch the Super Bowl.
I mean, your family should move. Like Tim should move into your place, and you should move into Tim's place and bring the family along with you. Then you guys can go out all the time.
What are people gonna do where we are, Pat? Where like you line up outside to like get things as it gets bitterly cold.
Where do you line up
We've
outside? to
already
go
been
get
doing
things?
that out in Manitoba.
I don't know. Like,
been
let's say
that.
like you're getting your takeout from like a popular place.
People wait
Or
outside.
I
in
don't
the
know.
cold.
I'm just like
Give me a situation where you're in a line. I haven't been in a line in ages.
I don't know. Like to get into places.
Like when you say into places, like where?
I guess it's been a while since you've actually had to line up
I've
outside.
had to wait in a line at like the grocery store and
Just
stuff.
get your groceries delivered. You can get anything delivered to your house. You literally do not need to leave.
It's a lot more expensive.
It's slightly more expensive. You want to go stand out in the cold? You're not Paul too poor.
No. I just like going around looking at like what's available, what's on sale.
That's the way I feel too, Paul.
It's time to stop living that Tim life.
I agree with them.
You like going to the grocery store?
Yeah.
Fun.
You would prefer to go to the grocery store, wait in line to get in.
I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get. If I do it on the thing, then I'm just gonna get what I need.
Exactly.
But sometimes I'll
gotta
go
see
there
what's
and I
on
get
So
sale.
you're
things
saying
I
it would be
want.
more. So in
Yeah,
fact,
then you
although
get-
it would be
it takes
more
the fun out
expensive
of it.
on the whole to get it delivered, you'd actually spend less.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's
100%.
But it doesn't. But that takes the fun out of it.
What fun?
See, I'm not here for fun. I don't agree with his argument if I'm having fun, but I enjoy picking which cookies I'm gonna buy.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way. It's fun. It's neat. It's cool. It's fun to shop at the grocery store.
Cool.
People shop like fucking children.
Cool.
We could argue
stand by
that
it.
you shop like an old person. 'Cause
By
usually
using-
only
by
old
by
people
using
use
an app?
delivery.
But old people don't get delivery. They don't know how to use the product.
My mom gets food delivered.
I see. That's great. Yeah, you showed her how to use Uber Eats.
No,
You know
she uses like Grocery Gateway. Not that we're not sponsored by them in
No,
any way.
we
shape,
we
or
actually shop around. We use that Honey app. Do you have Honey installed?
No, what is it?
Just download Honey into your Chrome. It's like an extension, and
It
it'll
gets you deals?
you just activate it, and if there's a deal to be had, it pops up the discount.
No,
deal.
does it tell you like it knows what you like things you've bought? Like
No,
how does
like
it-
if you're on like a checkout page, you know how if you have a special promo code that you can put in, it runs all known promo codes for that, and it's great for flights. We booked our honeymoon through Europe. It saved us like $2,000.
I can't wait to book a flight.
What are flights?
I was looking at that too because I really wanted to buy airline stock like 4 months ago, and I was too cowardly to pull the trigger. I really missed the boat. They're all going way up now.
Yeah. We're dependent on them.
One hopes
What?
that it continues to go up, or that it's not just an artificial sugar high. It
I
could
kinda,
be.
I
or
kind
may
of,
not.
I kind of hope it crashes again, so I can actually like buy it this time.
I fear it may.
I
We'll
can't
see.
foresee a
Oh, so now it's
situation where
never
people
going down.
don't
Thanks.
fly.
Not that they don't fly, but in the short term, well, you can definitely envision a world where, and I think it's almost inevitable that people fly less than they did before. I think we have seen the peak of like people flying and traveling for in our lifetime. People will still travel, people will still fly, All that's going to still happen.
You made this argument
I
before.
think-
I think it swings exactly the opposite way. That now that people have been stuck where they are, that they're probably more likely to spend the extra few bucks and go somewhere.
I don't know.
Just
I
because
know
you
you
can't
think
leave you can't leave your house for more than 2 hours doesn't mean everyone is like that.
Yeah, it's a tough call because times are tough and people are in a tough spot. But the world's been so fucked up. Someone might be like, "I'll go $2,500 more in debt after 2020."
And everyone,
Like I have to enjoy my after what we just went through. I have to do this. It's like cost benefit analysis says no. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I want to go have a good time. I'm going somewhere. Paul, what were you gonna say?
I imagine there's a fuck ton of like business meetings and stuff that are just turned into like virtual conferences.
Yeah, as they should have been anyway.
That's
And that's a significant
already,
portion of
right.
travel.
That's a big, exactly what Tim just said. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. We have seen the zenith of travel.
But
in
those
general.
conferences, those big seminar
Those will
conferences,
still
still have to happen.
But those aren't the predominant reason. I mean, there are people who fly every single
You're right.
week.
You're
like
right. You're right.
George Clooney and Up in the Air. Like,
Of course,
those
day
days,
to day. Yeah.
they're basically done. And maybe for the best. So that's what I mean. We will just have less travel going forward.
Those were
Either we'll have no
probably
travel,
dying
or we'll have
anyway.
less.
Just
They
got
had-
faster.
The only people that were really still doing them.
Political people. That's why it costs so much money to fly to like Washington because either your company's paying for it or you're rich as hell. Like
Yeah.
because no one is usually flying there paying out of pocket. It's usually government or your company.
I was thinking that, like, just from the people that I know versus the people that I know that are like a bit younger than me, my age, a bit older, and even older, that the older you are, the more that you ended up going on business trips to go have a meeting somewhere. For you fly into like midway into Chicago in the morning, and you take the flight out later on. Whereas younger people just Snapchatted. Or just got on FaceTime and talked. So they didn't need to pay for the flight. Whereas old people just didn't do that. We've always took flights, so we're going to take flights. And we're going to fly to this city for 2 hours to have a meeting and then fly home. There's just going to be less of that. But it was going to be less of
which is
that
why-
anyway because those people are dying out.
Yeah.
Sure. But anyway, my point was that we have seen, and maybe this just accelerated it. So we have seen the high point of travel in our lives.
Yeah, but more people might
That's okay.
actually casually travel now who may not have before.
Maybe. But it won't make up for the loss of business travel, I don't think, in the long run.
Well,
And again, that's perfectly fine.
Well, it may or may not go.
It's
that
probably
way.
better for the environment too, right?
Well, what do you care about the environment? You don't even believe in
I'm just saying
global
it would, that would be a positive externality, they would say, right?
warming. Or they'll get to the point where airlines will have to look at it and say, you know what, we're going to give you severe discounts on all this stuff if you keep flying again, then flying will go back up. A lot of people just don't fly because it's too fucking expensive.
Flying is incredibly expensive and probably about to get a lot more expensive because airports are about to jack up their maintenance fees big time because airports are being crushed by this pandemic. And it's hard for them when flights aren't coming in and out to collect the money that they need for their general expenses. So airlines may reduce their prices, but expect airports in general to raise their, landing taxes and stuff like that. So yeah, the days of like cheap flights, they're not around the corner, even if you kind of want them to be.
I was looking to get a flight to Paris last night. My wife and I were just dicking around being like, yeah, maybe by like next April we can go on a flight somewhere. I wonder how much that would cost. And it's not significantly cheaper than it was before, if at all.
No, I believe that.
I'll throw this out here too, because I actually don't know the answer. Who owns airports? Is it the city? The government? Is it privately owned?
I think that they're owned by an authority,
Like the Port Authority owns airports as well?
So then they're
That's
city owned, right? The government would own them then? They're like authority owned?
I could ask somebody. BMAC sells weather monitoring towers to airports.
Who owns airports?
is in Canada, they're owned by Transport Canada, at least the big ones.
And that's
And
a
then-
branch of the government?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Transport Canada is a department of government. That's the one that Mr. Garneau was the minister.
Yeah, I don't think they're
Who?
private.
Mark Garneau, the astronaut.
That fucking guy. No, wait.
Anyway,
Is he the guy
No,
who I
you're talking
hate?
about Hatfield.
That's
I
a guy.
think.
Fucking can't stand that guy.
Why, celebrity astronaut bothers you?
It really does. I'm going to throw
when
that
I,
on the list
when
of
I
people who don't
graduated,
like.
when I convocated with my PhD, the chancellor was an astronaut, Robert Thirsk. It was pretty cool to meet an astronaut.
Do people grow up wanting to be astronauts anymore? Didn't like Elon
Some
Musk?
do.
Didn't Elon Musk like self-quarantine in space for having COVID?
Maybe, but it is really cool to meet somebody who's actually been in outer space. I
Is
think.
it? Like walking on the moon is one thing, just being in space. What do? Sit there?
Or jump.
With that one guy, for sure.
But yeah, I think going up to the International Space Station to be an astronaut is a pretty cool thing. And probably requires unbelievable amounts of effort and discipline. If that episode of The Simpsons taught me anything.
Why would it require tremendous amounts of discipline to go up into space, but you think you could jump from space? And that would be easy.
Because I'm not staying there for any period of time to do the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, but the hardest
I'm just
part would be
to
going up
jump.
through the atmosphere.
Oh, how hard could that be?
Once you're on the space station, I'm pretty sure you're fine, unless everything completely goes wrong.
No, but you got to do all kinds of technical stuff that I'd never be able to do.
Like
Go out and tighten this, or use a spanner to change that, and I can never do that stuff.
someone hit me up. I can't find a definitive answer. Maybe it's different country to country, like you said.
Are you still
looking
sometimes owned
at
by the
Pro
government.
Football Reference and stats?
Pardon?
Are you still looking at Tua stats on Pro Football Reference?
No, I'm looking at someone else's stats right now.
Whose?
Don't worry about
Who
it.
you looking up?
Joe Burrow.
Well, since you brought it up, I got some stats for you. I'm rooting for you because I don't like to see you lose. But here's
You
what
like
I
to see me lose.
Yeah, because usually you bet with me and then I benefit from it. So, of the past 10 rookies of the year, all 5 of the past 10 have been quarterbacks, Tim. All 5 QB winners started in week 1. The majority of rookies, 7 of them, were either the first overall pick or made the playoffs, including 4 straight, for quarterbacks, by the way. The Chargers are currently 4 games plus tiebreakers out of the hunt. Half saw their win totals increase by at least 4 games. The Chargers would have to win out for that to happen. And who checks these boxes? Tua. They would need to go 3-4 over their final 7 for that 4-game improvement, which will directly be attributed to him, although he probably had not a ton to do with it.
I mean, Joe Burrow checks those boxes too.
He's not going to make the playoffs or end up having the 4-win increase unless they get there.
Quite possibly. They won, 1 game last year?
Well, they've won, 2 this year or 1?
I
They
don't know.
won 2.5 games. If he wins 2 more, that's enough.
Those are all
That's a
fine
big
things.
increase.
Unless you're actually exceptionally just impressing and you're not responsible for anything bad that's happened. And you were put
How come he gets no responsibility for losing games in your mind? I'm just very curious.
because he's doing all he can do. To ask him to do anything more would be ridiculous.
Maybe he
the
can
average,
not throw to Parham twice in a row. Maybe go down, throw
well,
him to
one
Keenan
was
at the end of the game.
one was Mike Williams, one was Parham, and they're both perfect balls that these guys can't bring home. I don't know. I look at a defense. I look at the special teams. You want to break down the Chargers? Who are we going to blame? The offense.
I'm just saying
With
that
his horrible-
you're beginning to verge onto Tim talking about Darnold. That none of the responsibility for losing breasts on him. He's too good. It's everyone else.
As a rookie?
Yeah,
When the defense...
It just seems like, again,
No.
see, now I say one thing, you completely deflect.
I haven't had a moment where holy shit, man, that was you. Not one. I don't know. I don't know. I watch it all. Never. And I'll blame any of them.
Well, you never blame Rivers.
I blame him all the time. I like him, but I still blamed him.
We've done the show for 6 years now. Eventually, towards the end of last year, when you knew he was leaving, did you start to throw some dirt on him? Before that,
Well,
hold on. Else?
Well, this
The
whole,
offensive line could never block for him.
But
it's
my
never
point
his
being
fault.
is when we're down 10 points and there's 48 seconds left and he hucks one up for an interception, people are like, oh, look, there's Phillip throwing end of game interceptions. He's not Brock Osweiler going to try to score 2 scores with 15 checkdowns.
So it was never his fault.
No, it's his fault a lot. It's his fault a lot.
But your first thing was to bring up things that weren't his fault.
No, my point being was I think a lot of
It's not Sam's fault.
a lot of things that happened there weren't it was polarizing, but he was just trying to win the games. You're down 2 scores, a minute left. You're on your 5-yard line. You're not going to throw 8 checkdowns. You're going to try to make one big play. That's what Phillip did. But he was not without responsibility. But of our units, the offense, of everybody who should be walking the plank, it's hard pressed for me to blame him, Pat.
I'm gonna be. I'll keep note of the first time you blame him for anything. I'm
I
curious.
say he had his worst half of the year. He made the worst play of the game, was throwing that interception to Howard. It was a bad read. Tim seemed to have saw it differently. He never had positioning.
Well, Tim called it a fluke.
Howard had the inside positioning the whole way. Is that bad play? Bad plays thrown to professional corners can get picked.
Let's recap this up. Superlocks. Tim, you're up.
Can I go last?
Sure. I'll go.
Has Burrow gotten blamed for any of the Bengals losses? I'm just not familiar. I don't know.
What does it matter? Why are you now deflecting onto him?
No, I'm just curious.
No, I'm asking. Why is it now deflected onto him?
Because I think all these guys get graded on a scale. I'm not gonna blame Tua for any Dolphin loss. They probably won't lose under him. They're probably gonna go 7-0.
8-0.
8-0. They're 4-0?
4-0.
4-0.
When Tua sees the field.
when he's played.
I like Green Bay. I'm going to take Miami. Miami on the road -3.5. Number's too short. Should be 20.
Tim, play the other side there.
No, I'm not going to.
Do it. Why not?
He's picking Atlanta.
I'm gonna play the Falcons. It was either the Falcons or the Colts. Those are the two I was thinking about, but I'm gonna play the Falcons.
So I went back and looked at this. You've locked in the Falcons 4 times this year.
Really?
Yeah. They won one. They covered once for you.
And I picked against them once and they covered too. Like I picked against them and I got the Superlock right with the Packers, so and they played them on that Monday night. Oh boy, I'm a dum-dum. Whatever. I think it's the way to play the game. I want to be on the opposite side of Jameis for his first start, come what may. And again, no one's a bigger Jameis fan than me. I just don't think it's a great spot week 1 for him. His first week, sorry.
I mean, you did make him a dark horse MVP candidate last year, and now he doesn't play.
I know I did. And he threw 30-plus touchdowns. So I got somewhat justified and led the league in passing.
It's Teton +6.5.
Miami, Tennessee, and Atlanta. Tim, you're using who in Survivor? Minnesota?
Minnesota this week, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
They're the second biggest favorite.
Sure, short week against a team coming off a bye.
Yeah, it's tough, but like the Steelers are already burned, and I ain't playing the Chargers. So I really don't have another card to play.
Why won't you play the Chargers? You picked them to win. You picked them to cover.
Honestly, I might have already picked them against the Jaguars.
I think he did.
But
No.
I think I did. And also, no, that Chargers have 2 wins. I'm not doing that. So anyway, Vikings, that's the way I'm going to play.
It's a lot of points for a bad team, eh?
There's a lot of points. I know. It's a lot
And
of
I guess,
points to lay
not
into.
to go back to it, but with the Dolphins, the only thing I could make the case for Denver is that it's just a role reversal for Miami.
Yeah,
They're a road favorite for the first. Like they've been playing nice. A lot of things have happened.
They were favorites last week, weren't they?
Home.
Yeah.
God,
road
please
favorite
give us a
over a
blizzard
field goal.
in Denver. Give
You
us
heard
snow
this?
and wind and cold.
Oh, it's
going to
be 75 and sunny.
Give us,
what are you
give
doing?
us cold and snow and windy. Those Dolphins can't handle that.
Do you think that all of their players are from Miami?
No, I don't. But they've been living in Miami pretty exclusively for quite a while because of the pandemic.
Just-
Like, it's not like they're traveling about.
I would think that a team that has a really good defense would benefit from really bad weather.
I would love to see the opportunity.
Can I say something going out?
You've just said that 3 times and said something.
Because a lot's going to be framed that I think is kind of unfair. I'm the person.
You just stop talking. You have to continue to add on to it.
no,
Maybe if you didn't say what you said, people wouldn't think these things.
I picked Miami to beat Arizona
Okay.
with 3% of the world. I'm picking Miami this week. I try to take a fair and balanced approach.
You keep saying that.
Tim,
When you have to say that, people don't think it's fair and balanced.
no, I like Miami. I like
gotta
the
believe
program.
me.
I do.
gotta
I
believe
really
me.
do. I don't think Tua's bad.
That's not what I've been gleaning coming from you. Because you say one thing out of one side of your mouth, and then you're just the first.
What's the meanest thing I've said
on this show?
about Tua?
You agreed with Tim. Tim pointed that out, that you guys were basically saying the exact same thing.
But Tim thinks of it as a finality thing. I think of
never
this
said
as,
that.
as step
I never
1
said
of
that.
1,000.
I just said when he's good, I'll say it. But he hadn't been yet. So let's not get our carts before our horses.
Tim's free money.
Tim doesn't think he'll be good.
Tim's free money teaser, which isn't good.
I gotta go. One more. Tim doesn't think he'll be good. I actually think there's a much larger probability that he is way better than Tim thinks he is. That's a fact.
Well, Tim thinks he's like the worst quarterback in the history of football.
So that's insane.
No, I didn't say that.
Tim
I didn't
compared
say
him to
that.
Tebow.
This is all straw man arguments.
He said Tebow and Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer, who won a Super Bowl. Tebow, who won a playoff game and was a Heisman Trophy winner.
Tebow.
Anyway, I think Geoff and I are far, far closer than he wants to admit on this.
You compare him to Tebow. You pick him to lose every week.
I don't like that team. That team's a fraud.
I think that those two things alone, like, say we're not in the same camp here.
Okay, sure.
Why
This is why his card's worth $355 and the most expensive rookie card on the market.
Why aren't the Bills
Those
frauds
pink,
anymore? Can we be frauds again?
I don't listen. I hate
Can we
having
be
you cheer for the
frauds?
Bills.
I want to be a fraud.
The enemy
us
of my
frauds
enemy
again.
is my friend. Sorry. I mean, you guys are off this week, so it doesn't matter. But Buffalo comes out next week. You can be sure that I will be 100% behind them.
Even you've said that we have a mutual friend who likes the Dolphins, that he's acknowledged that like they're coming from two completely different places. Me and Tim on this.
We have a mutual friend?
Yeah.
Well, the Bills play the Chargers next week. That's a layup.
That likes the Dolphins.
Who do we know who likes the Dolphins?
Garion.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm just like, did you guys have a falling out that I'm not aware of?
Garion. That's right. Need to get him on the show to talk about Tua.
Special surprise guest into the conversation.
Yeah, Garion, Tim's dad, and our friend Tim Butts. We'll be good to go. Rapping with Tim. And we'll have a video of Tim, but he can't say anything. Can you recap your free money teaser, please?
Sure. It's a 7-point tease. Tease down the Chargers, Steelers, Vikings, Chiefs, plus 200.
That's only 2-1. You think that Atlanta is going to win outright? You can bet them on the money line.
Play
for,
them
I think,
separately.
But I think
Play them
instead of
separately.
playing this teaser, you can just bet your money on that.
I got no objections to that, but I'm giving you the free money teaser, and that's what it is. And
Free-
just warming up, just so the people know, next week you're getting 2. And I won't let you down. I never do on Thanksgiving.
The free money, you lost last year and the year before and the year before.
Yeah, I got screwed last year.
That was 2 years ago. You got screwed.
Oh, I also
according
got
to you.
screwed that year. I also got screwed that year, too.
What screwed you last year?
What game was it last year? That was the late game, I think, that got me. What was the late game last year? My God, my brain is
Was
mush.
it not a rematch?
I think it was Saints Falcons again. Yes, it was, and the Falcons recovered 2 onside kicks to screw me.
I just remember the early game, the Bears game, like some running back I had like never heard of. Ended up
I was stuck in traffic for 4.5 hours that day and missed.
That was
the
like a
whole
polarizing Trubisky game where he like went sideways instead of getting a first down.
And then
that
the
was,
next
like,
game
right
was
there
the
for his
Bills.
feet.
Was the Bills sort of coming out party against Dallas when
Was
they
it
won
Chase
like $1 million
Daniel,
to nothing.
actually?
Is this game in Dallas next week? This Washington Dallas
Always
game?
has to be.
Always,
Yeah, yeah.
always in Detroit, in Dallas, and then
I don't know
somewhere
if I
else.
like Washington. These out of division teams. Remember? I think the largest NFL bet I've ever made was that Carolina game on Thanksgiving 4 years ago.
I actually want to say Dallas was getting smoked by those teams. The
They did-
Chargers, Carolina, and
they-
Buffalo
yeah.
all went in there on Thanksgiving as bad. No, Carolina was actually a really good team. The Chargers and Buffaloes were bad teams that like this was our big day of the year.
Yeah.
And they just punked.
But Carolina was still a dog in that game. That's why we hammered them.
That was
There was
game,
the Cam Newton 15-1 year.
Remember that was the game the Chargers kept missing kicks and then their backup kicker missed the net practicing.
No, I don't remember
Yes, I do. I remember.
that. They'll do it for us.
I didn't. I had the willpower on Sunday to not direct message somebody.
I'm proud of you.
I'm
Sometimes,
feeling good about Dustin.
oh yeah, good, great Masters champ. We get to grow old with him. I enjoy that.
Oh yeah, I guess we do get to see him every year until he's like 60.
Yeah,
The
older.
wave, the photo of him waving is just so perfect. I loved it.
I
It was
wish-
so wholesome.
I was shocked at how emotional he got because we recorded our recap show before we like watched any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
It was nice.
I was surprised.
He's been through the ringer. For the lack of emotion he shows, he's been through a lot.
Well, it's hard to show a whole bunch of emotion when you're up for 4 days straight.
Huh. And yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate that, I mean, he is a great player of his era. And he was a nose hair from already being an all-time great. Because he's let a few get away. Special player.
He is like the LeBron James of golf.
I don't know who he would be.
Because he's been dominant for a decade. He's been there
yeah.
for a decade, but he has these losses in big moments.
Some
like LeBron.
polarizing ones that like he could have like 6. 6 would be like cashing everything. He could have like 4 though, and you're being like fair.
Yeah.
And conservative. What he would have done. 18 holes to Jordan at Chambers. What he would have done.
Or not hit it out of bounds at Royal St. George's.
Or not shoot 90 at Pebble Beach.
Or not have
even
the
this
sand,
his
the
club.
whistling straights, the sand, the pocket sand.
Oh, yeah. I did. I totally forget about that one.
Or make
won that,
one
Keimer
putt
in the end?
when
Okay.
Patrick Reed won. Make one putt that final round against Patrick Reed, and would
No,
have
that would have been
Masters.
Ricky's.
No.
Ricky's was the guy that.
No,
Patrick
it
took
was
from.
last year. Dustin just
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh, it
make
was
a putt
last
three
year.
days
Last
against
year.
Tiger and lost by 1.
He was actually in second place in the Willett Spieth, except maybe ended up finishing 3rd.
Yeah, but he was never in that one. Though.
No, but once it all like, whoa, Dustin's
Sure,
in
but
second
that
now.
wasn't a winnable one for him.
I'm just saying.
But like PGA Championship this year, he could have won.
Yes,
He was winning.
Yeah,
And then he decided to hit it to 40 feet and 2-putt every time. Well, Morikawa
Yeah, it was
just
rough.
stormed it. Who do you got
Whatever.
this week, Tim, at the RSM?
I haven't the slightest idea. I'm not going to lie to the people.
I'm doing my golf show tomorrow, so I'll release it there. But I bet Hatton and Lowry.
Oh, I bet Hatton.
I got him at 20.
I bet Hatton, and I'm throwing a bunch of bombs,
Oh, yeah, I got bombs.
like a collection.
Gim Reaper. If you go to that site that you put me onto,
Yeah,
Kadira's 750 to 1.
I played Wyndham Clark 150 to 1 there.
He sucks though. He had his chance. He blew it.
But yeah,
How many chances is Wyndham Clark getting to win an event?
honestly, I'm just like throwing a bunch of like fire bombs back there with Hatton at the top.
Yeah, I played Mackenzie Hughes.
Hugh Redmond,
I played Redmond.
Poston,
Poston. Yeah, we're on all the same guys.
more bombs. I saw Cook. Cook was super popular.
I
right?
picked Cook. He's won this. He cashed me an 80 to 1 ticket at this tournament 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
And Burns with Drew, who was
Is that the
super
tournament
popular.
I watched with you when I came up in November to watch football? And you
Yeah,
were
It was
freaking
my
out?
Koba.
Yeah, we were all at the bar.
At the Dog's Bollocks, or was it the other one?
It was
No,
the
when
other
we
one.
went to with the Cameron Champ Matt Kuchar one. Is he talking about?
Yeah, was it that? No, because I believe it was. I had Kuchar at OHL, then I had Cook the next week. It was one. No, I think we watched the Kuchar one when you were here because I was listening to the Cook one streaming through the app on the radio while I was.
That
watching
sounds right.
football.
I just remember Cam Champ was playing great, and I was very fired up for him.
Cam Champ played great at the Masters.
He did.
He's good. He's got the pedigree.
Sort of.
He's Mr. Palmer's grandson.
What?
Isn't Cameron Champ
It
Arnold
was
Palmer's grandson?
Sam
That's
Saunders.
Sam Saunders, man.
Oh, it's Sam Saunders.
Cam
sorry.
Champ's black.
Yeah.
I thought he. Okay, I'm mistaken. I
Cam-
knew somebody was Arnold Palmer's grandson. I thought he was.
Cam Champ's grandfather is like legit black. Not Arnold Palmer.
Unless Arnold was a ladies' man that we didn't like. That's
Does this mean that you're out on Cam Champ?
this whole time. Were you mistaking
Were you
Cam Champ and
mistaken?
Sam Saunders?
No, I can't imagine that. I just think. I mean, I watched Champ play golf that weekend and was really fired up for him. And then I thought
How did you get fired up for him? That was the one that he gagged to Matt Kuchar.
Because we were watching it on that Saturday and he was playing great.
Anyway, that will do it on the Pat Mayo experience. I'd like to thank Geoff and a man who doesn't see color, Tim Andercust.
Tim and Cust.
That's not my name.
It's easy to get confused when you're colorblind, like Tim. That makes so much sense of why he likes Cameron Champ. For no reason. He thought he was Arnold Palmer's grandson. Of course.
He's also really good at golf.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, it does actually, because the first time I ever met him was when he was playing great at that tournament. When I watched it with you, I was like, "Oh, this guy's great."
I believe he like flubbed a chip and couldn't get onto the green and then blew it to Kuchar.
No, I think Tim watched him hit a 45-foot putt on a Saturday and just said, "Oh, this guy's the man."
And then he couldn't win until Tim gave up.
And
on
you're
him.
betting Mackenzie Hughes this week?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It's horrible. But I can't be. He's won this tournament before. I just can't do it and watch him make like this is such a jabroni event. Although there's good players at it. These courses are just stupid. Like, anyone can win.
So the week after the Masters, I got to like look at this odds board. Yeah, I got these picks. And then I sat down to really break it down, and there were a lot of options I really wanted to play.
Well, all the Euros are playing because they decided like, hey, we didn't just want to come over for 1 week. We might as well play in the other tournament that's 200 miles away. So all of the top European players are playing.
It makes sense, and with the way the schedule could be weird, you want to pocket some wraparound FedEx points.
Well, I think everyone kind of learned this year that, if part of the season gets canceled, you want those early FedEx Cup points.
Exactly.
They'll get you to Eastlake and you're guaranteed like $2 million.
Yeah. No, you nailed it on the head.
GMAC, too. I know he's been terrible, but this is his kind of track. Well, fucking Charles Howell III won this event 2 years ago.
So is it Bet Poulter?
I forgot Poulter was playing, but
they're all playing.
Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, tune into the golf show if you care about golf talk. Geoff Fienberg at GFienberg17. You can watch the Geoff Fienberg show live on FTNDaily.com, 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday nights, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. You can check out this cheat sheet up at FTNBets.com. If you really want to recap how horrible our picks are and make fun of us for them, then that's where you can find the cheat sheet version of it. Smash the like, rate, and review. That'll do it for me. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you next time.
Mayo experience! Experience!